I've hit the button.
Are
now.
you?
Okay. Hi, Button.
Okay.
How are you today, Button?
Okay, let
Don't
me
hit the
before
button,
you
just
admonish
press
me.
Yeah.
Let me get the video up. I'm waiting for it to pop
Okay.
up on the.
I'm not going to admonish you. I'm going to give you permission that you saw it. You sought permission to call Chris's character Al, and I am granting that.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Not double
still-
Al. He's just a single Al.
He has to earn the second Al.
He has to earn the...
He is too Victorian to be called Al. I'm sorry, D-line.
No, I'm the DM. I've overruled you. I've granted Treble permission.
Doesn't mean I have to respond.
Well, yeah, if you want to be a stick in the mud.
The sound sounds okay to me, but
Good.
I want to get everybody's opinion because I got into a little bit of an argument about this.
Oh no.
With somebody in the Discord. If you're in a haunted house and you walk up to a door and it says the doll room and you walk in there, what is worse? A room full of dolls or a room with a single doll?
How big is a single
100%.
doll?
A single doll. 100%.
So, like, I don't know, like 20 by just standard size room. Like, it's just
10
there's
10 by 12 bedroom type situation.
yeah, something like that. Just a room in a house, large, maybe
Single
parlor
doll.
size. Yeah.
Single
Okay.
doll.
All right.
Yeah, if it's a haunted house, I'm gonna go with single doll.
Even if it's not a haunted house.
No, doll swarm. Doll swarm is worse.
So
We had a doll
to be
room
honest-
in the darkest house last night, and none of us enjoyed it. And then she put the artwork
No
on
one
the
ever-
screen, and one of the people said, "Is that doll sitting on the shelf with just a doll's head in her lap?" And someone else went, "No, that's not what." Oh yeah, no shit, that is what that is.
I got in. There's a game store that runs like once a month they run one shots for teenagers. They come in and they do pizza and stuff, and the kids can play D&D or other tabletop games. And the DM that was going to run, they wanted to do a quote unquote. The only brief I got was hardcore horror themed.
Mm-hmm.
And the DM backed out, and they called me and asked me if I could run on short notice, and I was like, "Yeah, sure. I've got something that would probably work." Because I ran that other game years ago, I just ported that shit over real quick. Kids seem to like it. They did not like the doll at all. Did not like the way I described the doll. Like its torso open. Okay, so Brick might like this. So the doll had multi-attack.
Yeah.
As dolls should, right?
Yes, of course.
It could pick between 2 tentacle attacks, one did slashing, one did bludgeoning, or a bite attack where its torso opens up and it bites you.
Excellent.
And if it bites you, you're automatically grappled.
Right.
And it gets advantage on all of its other attacks.
Right.
And at the end of its turn, you have to make a Constitution save throw or be poisoned. And if you fail it by 5 or more, you're paralyzed.
It's a good doll.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Our doll in the darkest house. It was a doll swarm, and one of them happened to be able to talk. And we asked her, tell us about the little girl who lives in this room. And she said, "What little girl?" And then we noped the fuck out of there. And then the next room was cats. It was the cat room. And we noped out of there too.
I think the cat room might be worse.
Yeah.
The cat room smelled like pee. It was in the book description that it smelled like pee.
Like, I think, to be honest, I think a cat room is the opposite of a doll room.
Think so?
Right? If you walk into a doll room and there's just a single cat in there, it's like, okay, right. But if you walk in there and there's a bunch of cats, then there's a
That's
problem.
when you know about, yeah.
Yeah. Because, yeah.
What happened was the barbarian character just tried to barrel through the cat room. One of the little house cats, there was like 30 of them. One of them somehow swallowed him whole, horked him back up as a hairball. Now he was a tiny little barbarian. And we took the opportunity to go back to the doll room and put him in the little dollhouse so he could explore it and tell us if there was anything in there.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
Yeah.
That is a series of events that now exists.
I used
Well done.
prestidigitation to clean off the cat vomit from his...
Yeah.
Oh, is this
Anyway.
your Peachberry game?
Yeah.
The only kind of like slightly bad experience in that game I ran last night was one of the players ignored. Sometimes as a DM you put giant red flags in a room with an encounter, and when the players ignore it, it's on them. Oh, I need to join the table. I've got this video up. And essentially, without getting too much into it, the character lost a hand because he ignored the like. I'm sitting there like in semaphore waving red flags in this player's face.
Yeah.
Still stuck his hand in the hole. Lost the hand.
I mean, you're not wrong. And red flags are
I
important.
can't.
But some people, when they see the red flag, they're like, I gotta know what that red flag is about.
Ooh, I cannot join the thing. Let me sort this out.
My internet has been legendarily bad all week. It's been a real struggle trying to run Elder Scrolls games.
It held together pretty well on Friday when we did Archie, right?
Yeah, we got through Archie all right.
Well, I'm getting that same issue I got with Chris and Braz, and now I'm getting it with you. But unfortunately, you're hosting the game.
Okay.
So let me see if I can't remember how to fix this.
Something about selecting a server, I want to say.
Yes. Let me scroll up. I forget if it's download server. Let me. I posted it in case, because I didn't know if it was you or me doing it.
It's almost certainly me, because my internet has been crap all week.
I think it might be me because this is like, okay, once is a happenstance, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. And this is the third.
It's happened 6 times to me this week. Or I don't have any drop frames yet, but let's keep an eye on that.
Okay. I think I have to exit the game. Let me see. Restart now. You could go on without me. I can, because these wonderful people at the table can move me around and stuff. Roll dice for me, so we can get started.
Some of them are reasonably wonderful.
Moving him around.
I've always
reasonably wonderful.
I've always said that about Raz. He is full of wonder.
You say as I'm being mischievous at the table right in front of you.
I wasn't looking at the table. I was looking at my spreadsheet.
Oh, I was moving Leo around. Woo!
So let me ask you this. At the end of year 1, each of you is going to be given the opportunity to grade your mentor on how helpful they were during the acclimation of your journey in Strixhaven. And you can give them an exemplary, a meets expectations, or an unsatisfactory.
Here's the problem with me is I live with with the person that I'm grading, and I don't want my home life situation to be terrible.
Okay.
Better give him a high grade then.
It sounds like that's going to factor into your decision.
Yeah.
So exemplary, meets expectations, or unsatisfactory.
Meets expectations. I can say that with truth. She has met my expectations.
Okay.
Now, is the expectation that we've met with our mentor as often as we wanted to, for whatever reason?
I'm not going to tell you what the expectations are. It's your evaluation to write.
Okay.
You don't actually have to write an evaluation. You just have to tell me which of those 3 things.
Oh, exemplary,
okay.
sure.
I'll close the snowpad document. I was about to. No. Just kidding.
So Geppa, you had Alsahar.
Yep.
And you're going with exemplary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's not his fault you didn't take his advice.
I mean, why? It's not a zero-sum game. There's no reason for me to say anything bad about him.
Mm-hmm. You might
Like
need
Kenny
these
has been
people's helps in
exemplary.
the future, and Dolly is going to be like, no, Hugo only gave me a meets expectations.
It's passing grade, isn't it?
It's a good question. You have no idea. You don't know the ins and outs of this mentorship program.
At least until next year.
Can we leave comments? Is there like a comment box we can leave?
So you're writing out an evaluation. You can be as thorough or as, like, it doesn't matter, but don't actually
Hugo says,
write out a
"Shh."
thing. I don't want to read your thing, but
Right. No, I'm not gonna write anything out, but like
Meets
Anything out.
expectations, and expectations is spelt wrong.
okay, I will spell it with a K.
Excellent.
I thought you were gonna give him exemplary.
I thought it was... Oh wait, what's the highest? Exemplary? Yeah, exemplary and exemplary is spelled wrong in that case. Sorry, I misunderstood.
I spelled it with an
Gotta
eggs,
start
like
before
eggs,
X.
like you were eating breakfast
Yeah.
at the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I imagine everything about Geppa is like sulfury.
So what is Leo writing?
Leo is gonna write meets expectations, and he's gonna put a little note in there that he seemed a little too busy to basically like make a note about he's always doing something, right? He's got too much on his plate to be an exemplary mentor. I'm gonna just tell the truth.
I thought you had Tempest.
I don't have Tempest.
Oh.
I have Tim.
No. He is timid. I have Tempest.
Okay, so Timid gets a meets expectations.
I mean, just being as honest as possible.
That leaves Alister and Genevieve.
Well, I think Kenny has been extraordinary. She even came with us into a dangerous city filled with fungal things.
Does that translate into an exemplary?
Yeah, she was useful.
And that just leaves Genevieve.
Just a second.
Yeah. Raz, are you actually writing the
so
thing?
No, I'm writing my notes. What everybody gives for their ratings. I don't know. I'm also doing the same thing for the blueprints. I'm writing down every little stupid thing, and like only 10% of it ever matters.
Right.
So Genevieve actually pens up a really long and thorough letter for her evaluation. Like she takes this very seriously,
Mhm.
and she touches on some points. In case Tempest reads this, she doesn't think that, but like in case you need it, Genevieve thinks that Tempest's demeanor is harsh and brash at times, and she doesn't seem to care about what she's saying, but what she is saying is actually super useful and super actionable, and she couldn't ask for a better instructor in that regard. She recommends that Tempest actually like look into becoming some sort of instructor or teacher, but she really needs to like fix up her bedside manner. But she valued her wisdom and experience that she had learned from those failures, etc. And she's happy that she was able to work with Tempest because she learned a lot. And so she gives her an exemplary rating.
All right. Spelled correctly?
Everything is spelled correctly because she actually proofreads it like 4 times.
I imagine you can get like a proofreading quill that does it for you. Like you're writing, and then every now and then it just like wrenches free of your hand to put a red squiggle under a word.
A red squiggle, yeah.
What do you guys
Jenny's
do?
writing, and she's like, green squiggle, no.
What do you guys do with the magic hat that you found last week?
I want nothing to do with it.
Genevieve wants
Yeah.
nothing to do with it.
It seems very dangerous, and it should probably be placed in a safe place for future study or destruction.
Where does Hugo place it, and or how does Hugo destroy it?
Ooh, idea. Genevieve wants to suggest that you sell it to somebody who plays around with the training dungeon so it can appear there.
You want it placed in the training dungeon.
Yeah, well, I mean, whoever's in charge of that administratively,
Mhm.
maybe they would want it as a prop, and they would give us some money for it.
So just as a reminder, this is a magic hat that while you wear it, it appears as a ridiculous hat to other onlookers. It also gives you terrible ideas, but as long as you act on the terrible ideas, you have advantage on associated rolls.
Isn't it like evidence in an ongoing investigation, Hugo? Like it was given to him by peoples.
You could turn it over if you
Right?
want. I mean, you turned over the butler for medical treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do both things with the hat. You can't both turn it over as evidence and have it placed in the training dungeon for future adventurers to find.
I would prefer to, turn it over for evidence.
Okay.
Yes.
The question is, are any of you going to be missing that hat later today?
Nope.
Oh god, that'd be so good for the production.
Can we turn it over after
we
the
like the
production?
production to go well.
You get advantage on all your
Yeah,
rolls.
we actually.
I mean, you could use it as a sort of like, I don't know, you get an idea and then you just know, okay, I was thinking about doing that, I'm not now.
Maybe the hat wouldn't like that. Okay.
The hat doesn't have feelings.
How do you know?
We know of.
I don't know that, actually.
Sentient magic items are a thing.
Yeah, they are.
So the next a couple weeks, any classes you do have are just a formality, because at this point you've been examined in all of them. A lot of students are preparing for graduation, 4th years and above, and other students are preparing to leave campus. You're going to have an extended period of leave before your 2nd year begins. Your last big project of the year is your drama club's production of 50 Shades of Sand. Now, previously, where is my... Oh, I got the whole drama club tab here. So what I've done
Ooh.
is I've split up the mechanics. You each have made a role for the drama club production. Alister is playing the leading man in the production. Genevieve is cast in a role as the pirate queen. Hugo is involved in set design. Leo was in charge of fight choreography. And Geppa was the gopher. Was doing whatever job was needed right this very minute, running back and forth. You had some ideas on how to improve the production. You had 3 ideas as a group, but only one was followed through on as a downtime action, so I have a check mark next to it. You wanted more pirate scenes, that ended up not happening. You wanted to punch up the story, that ended up not happening. However, you wanted to include a tiger, and one of you made that happen. So for the production, you've managed to source a live, trained tiger.
Oh, that went into like a way different direction than I think we discussed, but okay.
And if you had been more busy with drama club and less busy with exploring these ruins and getting good grades in the class and investigating this farm and 19 other things, welcome to college priorities.
I can't help but think that Brickroad is just setting us all up for failure.
Do I know about this at least one day ahead of time?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I'm going to prepare animal friendship.
All right.
Oh, yeah, good idea. Hold on. Yeah,
So,
do I have
the production is 4 acts, and there are 5 roles for the 5 of you to play during the production. 2 of you are locked into your roles. Alister and Genevieve, you don't have to listen to this next part, because you're playing the roles you're playing. Geppa, I'm like 80 to 90% sure you're also typecast, because one of the roles they're going to need is the gopher. Somebody during production to put out any fire, solve any problem that's happening right this second, so production can continue. Do you want to continue serving in that role?
What's the last role?
I haven't. There's 2 more, and I haven't mentioned them yet. If you're,
Yeah, sure.
If you're not the gopher, one of these other schlubs is going to end up with it.
Yeah, no, okay, that makes perfect. Yeah, I'll be the gopher.
Okay, let me put that down. Either Hugo or Leo will have the job of Tiger Wrangler during the production.
Hey, I do have both proficiency and advantage on animal handling checks.
You have advantage on it?
So.
What gives you advantage?
The rune I have carved.
All right.
Into my armor.
Would you like to be our Tiger Wrangler for production?
Sounds like that's right in my wheelhouse.
Okay. Leo.
Yeah.
You have no role in production. Your job's over. You were fight choreographer. I'm assuming you're very proud of the work. You put a lot of work into it. There's action scenes. There's lovemaking scenes. There's swashbuckling. There's a dragon. And you have these people doing crazy moves on, like, fight choreography is exemplary as far as you're concerned.
Mm-hmm.
The night before the production, the master of ceremonies for the production becomes incredibly ill, liquid spurting out of both ends. Fortunately, there's an understudy. 2 hours before production, the understudy to be the master of ceremonies becomes incredibly ill. The same bug. Liquid spurting out of both ends. Can't go on. Nobody else in the drama club knows the production anywhere near as well as you. And you are kind of strong-armed into being the master of ceremonies.
Okay. I don't know the production that well.
No, you don't. You don't know the script because, except what you've gained through osmosis, because it wasn't your job to learn the script. But nobody else knows it either, and everybody else has roles during the production. You were planning on just sitting in the audience and just kind of enjoying it, and then getting a good place at the snack table in the rap party. But no, Rubina comes to you 2 hours before production. Like, she needs you to go on in this role. If anybody has any idea, like, can internalize the script, it's you. Because you know all the scenes, because you were involved in fight choreography.
All right.
So here's how this is going to work. Oh, first I'm going to load up the stage maps, because I still have that stage map from before. Which might actually come out of the Strixhaven book, now that I think of it. This might have been in the... Yeah, this is the Rose stage. No, it's not. This is somebody made this on Patreon. Never mind. This is not in the Strixhaven book. It's a nice stage, and you guys have already cleaned up one mess here.
I don't know if I just squared it sized in.
All right. So, let me... I have it split up. There's 5 of you, and each of you are making 5 checks. You've already made the first check, which is leading up into production. I consider a perfect production to be a score of 250. When you make a skill check or anything associated with production, every point above 14... Above 14? Was it 14 or was it 12? It was 12. Every point above 12... It's going to be above 14 today during production. That's where I got confused. Every point above succeeding on the roll gave you 1 point towards production. And a 250 is 10 points for every roll for every player. One of you got an 11 on the pre-production roll. You're sitting at 34 points right now. I like to think of this as an adventure game, right? Like, think of the production as your adventure game, and at the top of the screen it says 34 out of 250.
Bro, baby.
Gotcha. If we started the production seeing that, I would get nervous. What have I missed?
Well,
are there screens I can go back to quickly?
There's not literally a number like being put up, but Rubina is putting the same anxiety into you. This needs to be perfect. She has devoted her life to this production. It's the most important thing to her by far, and if any of you ruin it, she's going to take it as a personal insult. So don't mess this up. Also, very few of you have blips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most important role of the night. Well, let's do this first, before the night of production. So, Leo, do you spend the 2 hours you have trying to... Your part of the script is to come at the beginning of every act and do, like, an introduction, catch the audience up kind of thing. Are you going to try to learn your parts in those 2 hours, or you just kind of go out there and wing it?
I mean, I'm going to try and learn... So... Question, because this might affect how I approach this. How there's 4 parts, right? I've got to learn essentially 4 parts.
Right. There are four little soliloquies or whatever they're called, monologues.
Right. And I'm only required to know that and nothing else.
You already know the general flow of the story. You just haven't memorized the script. You didn't have a part. I will say this, though. You will be the first thing anybody sees on the stage, which means your first roll when you give the overture to Act 1, your point value is going to be tripled, whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah, we can earn negative points?
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, if you don't succeed on the roll, I will subtract points.
I think this is the one we want to throw a bardic inspiration die on.
He can't, because Alister is backstage preparing for his own role.
It lasts 10 minutes, right?
Now,
well, I hadn't considered that, but I think I would allow Alister to give bardic inspiration to 1 performer per act. But it's only going to apply to either Leo or Genevieve in the acts where Genevieve is performing.
How many acts is she performing?
3. You've got 3 roles in 3 of the acts.
Okay.
How many acts does Leo have?
4, because he's doing the overture to all 4.
Well, you definitely get one for the overture.
All right, so you're giving bardic inspiration. Let me make a note of that.
does anybody have enhance ability?
I don't get it to level 5.
I'm a dumb multi-class character.
I'm a
Alister, did
fighter.
you take it?
Hold on, I gotta find my character sheet.
I know you
Wait a minute.
talked, you talked
did
about
Alister
taking it
use-
last time.
Is this the bard's job?
Hugo, you've had a couple
Sir.
of weeks to kind of befriend this tiger and build up a rapport.
Right.
The tiger has an action scene in the first act, and then another action scene in the finale. We didn't
Sounds
go into much detail about why there's a tiger on a pirate ship. We just kind of thought tigers are cool, pirates are cool. 2 great tastes go great together.
Chocolate and peanut butter, got it.
Is it safe to assume you're taking this task seriously, befriending this tiger?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Because if things go south, the tiger gets angry and bitey, and I don't. Nobody liked that.
Have you read the book or have you seen the film The Life of Pi?
No.
About the guy who's stuck on a boat at sea, and then it turns out there's a tiger on it, so he and this tiger have to live on this boat together.
No.
I've only seen the
Water,
film.
water everywhere, not a drop to drink. That's
Okay.
where it comes from.
Alister, make a decision. Yeah, go ahead and each act. Who are you giving your bardic inspiration? Well, how many bardic inspirations do you have in a day? Let's start there.
Not enough. I think 3? Yeah,
So-
4, I think 4.
If you think 4, or is it 4?
No, I'm checking.
Double
It's
check.
equal to your charisma modifier.
So whatever your charisma.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 4
modifier
because there is my charisma.
Okay, so you can give bardic inspiration
Yeah, 4.
to a performer in each act, but you can't give it to yourself. Rubina is going to insist, now that she knows that this is something you can do, you give it to her in every act, and she's already upset you haven't made that commitment for Act 1. So in Act 2, you can give it to Leo or Genevieve or Rubina. Rubina's not making checks and does not enhance your score at all. But there may be
Well-
other issues with making her mad.
Rubina doesn't need it because she has been preparing her entire life for this, and she is perfect as she is.
Mhm.
And Alister knows that she will give the perfect performance without his inspiration.
You know what she hears when you say that? So what you're saying is Genevieve was the wrong choice for Pirate Queen? You need to...
Yes, it was. She shouts.
So who are you
Well,
giving
you
it to
know-
Act 2? Leo, Genevieve, or Rubina?
So Act 1, Leo's score is like tripled. For the other acts, doesn't matter. Or they have the same impact.
I'm not going to go into the answer to that question because it gets very messy. This is a decision you have to make with little or no information.
Do you have a
I give it
4-page formula?
I give it to the optimal choice.
Which is who? Was it Leo, Genevieve, or Rubina?
So the check, what kind of checks are they? Are they charisma checks, or are they just like all over the place checks?
Bardic Inspiration applies here because they're performers on stage with you.
No, I mean like the roles. What modifiers go to the roles?
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that.
They perform. Okay.
There's a fight scene in Act 1. Act 2 is intrigue. Act 3 is romance. And then Act 4 is the big action climax. I'll give you that much information.
Okay, so for the fight scenes, Leo gets it. For the romance scene, Genevieve gets it.
So
I'm not in a fight scene.
he's doing the overtures.
Yeah.
Oh well, you just take it for the overtures.
So I'll
You know
give
what
them
you
all to
could-
Leo.
They're all overtures.
Yeah. You could
Yeah, he's doing
do
all the overtures and Leo.
If
you
the
do
want-
transitions to be good.
if you do want to split it up, you could do it me for the intro and the outro, essentially the first and last, and then Genevieve for the other two.
Well, Genevieve's
No,
not in
because-
Act 3.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, I'm giving them all to you because during the overtures, you can correct and compensate for any fuck ups that occur during the actual performance.
Keeping in mind Leo doesn't know the script and was not intending to be Master of Ceremonies until 2 hours before production goes live.
You did
Yeah, you
ask
can-
it. You did ask if Leo was like spending the 2 hours, and I didn't give you I said we kind of got off on the weeds there. The answer to that is, I am focusing all of my energy
Mhm.
in the 2 hours. I would say 50% or more for the opening, and then I'm going to try and supplement it as we go while like just cram with flashcards right before the
Got it.
I'm supposed to go out there for in the additional acts.
Now-
Make it concentrate on making a good first impression is what I'm trying to do.
To build on that a little bit, I did not actually write a script, and there is not actually like an itinerary or summary for the play. Whatever you guys decide to do during the play, that is what the script has always been.
Sounds good.
And you have access to all of your class features and all of your other stuff during the production. Okay. The night of production. So, Leo, you've crammed for 2 hours. Alister's come by and given you your pep talk to give you your bardic inspiration.
One question.
Yeah.
Alister, did you actually take or not enhance ability?
No, you all want me to take blindness instead. So I'll make the critics deaf so they can't hear how bad it is.
Excellent.
Gotcha.
That would be
Well, at least we have something
disastrous.
covered. Yeah.
Geppa.
So bad I lost my
Mm-hmm.
hair.
Rubina is not in Act 1. And it's
Okay.
good that she's not, because her I don't know what the term is, her handmaiden or lady in waiting, whatever, whoever's job it is to ensure that all of her costume and makeup is in place, has screwed the pooch and put the wrong makeup in her dressing room. She needs you before the start of Act 2. So you've got maybe 20, 30 minutes, if that, to run all the way across campus and fetch the proper makeup.
I think that takes more than 30 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah, which is why she's having you do it. You need to do something that takes 30 minutes inside of 20 minutes, basically.
We got coffee for that.
Yeah, do we still, where's that coffee?
You go to find your thermos, and instead you find a little card that says, "Thanks for the coffee, Ellen, heart."
Well, she stole from Hugo then, because that's Hugo's coffee.
She knew Geppo needed it for this job.
Hold on, I'm writing that down.
So, you need to make either a strength athletics check or a dex acrobatics check to get across campus and back in time. And because you don't have any coffee to pep you up, you're going to make this check at disadvantage.
Okay, let me see if I have anything special for this.
Your DC is 4. All these check DCs are going to be either 14 or 18, depending on how difficult you make production for each other. So right now your DC is 14.
All right, I have nothing to add to this that I can see.
Good luck.
So this is acrobatics. That comes out to a 9.
A 9, so that's a -5. So you arrive back at some point after Rubina's makeup has already been finalized. Like, you took too long. She's huffing mad. She already can't get any bardic inspiration out of Alister. He's already playing favorites. And she berates you. What good are you to this production? She's definitely very close to a meltdown, and now she's wearing the improper makeup. Leo, your first overture, and I'm tripling your point value for this.
Okay.
You can either make a popularity performance check or a charisma performance check at disadvantage.
I mean, it's the same modifier, so I wouldn't take the charisma. Why was I do wonder why the charisma is at
because you're giving a production in front of a bunch of like high school students, and it's easier for them to latch onto your own personality that they know rather than become captivated by your performance.
Gotcha. Let me see if I have anything.
You do have a bardic inspiration to spend on this.
Right.
And if you don't use it
Just
now,
so
you're
you
going to
know.
lose it because it'll be more than 10
I'm trying
minutes.
to see if I have. I was trying to see if I had anything else, and I don't.
Okay.
Well, I do have one thing I can throw in there. But I need you to. So anything below a 14 is a failure.
Yes.
Considered a failure.
And the higher you
Okay.
succeed by, the better.
Okay. All right. All right. So that would be a. Let me do math. You said performance, right? So that's
Yes.
a 10.
A
But
10.
I have a class feature
Mhm.
that lets me. Oh no, it's only charisma, persuasion, or intimidation checks. Shoot.
So okay, wait. So this is for a ability check, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So because I'm a creation bard,
You're busy.
you can
can't
roll
help him
that
at this
dice
point.
again and pick the higher one.
Oh, it's a passive thing on his bard.
What do you mean a passive?
Yeah,
thing?
it's a motive potential.
Oh, it's part of
So
bardic
he-
inspiration?
Yeah, it's part of yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. So I don't think I can get. I can't nudge this to be a. So that's 3.
Yeah, you'll reduce the penalty by rolling higher.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or
3
not.
or 3.
So how do we do?
Okay. Same score. 10.
10. So it's -4, and I'm tripling it, so that's a -12. So you're giving your overture. You fumble a couple of the lines that you've tried to memorize, and you swear you hear whispering in the front row. Watch, watch, watch. He's gonna do one of those dumb flip kicks any second now.
They're not flip kicks. They're roundhouse.
Do you stop your overture to correct him?
I mean, I guess I
should.
did because I rolled a yeah. Like I guess I did because I rolled a 10. Brickroad.
Yeah. So halfway through the overture, you're like, they're roundhouses, not flip kicks. And
So sort yourself is what I said, and then continue on.
which ripples of audience, or ripples of laughter, resonate through the audience. And by the moment, this production is being taken less and less seriously by everybody watching it.
My social anxiety is fucking skyrocketing at this point.
To be fair,
Hugo.
I think that should be have been a good thing. I made the audience laugh.
Yeah. I agree.
Hugo, please make me an animal handling check. Your DC is 18 because you need to prepare this tiger to go out for the big action scene.
I get to make this check at advantage.
That's probably a good thing.
Uh, 19.
19. So let's give Hugo the +5. No, the +1 because the DC was 18. And you get the tiger ready to go for the big action scene. The big action scene involves Alister fighting and apprehending the pirate queen, who has a tiger at her disposal for whatever reason. We didn't explain that very well in the story. Both of you get to make the same check. Both of you get to make this check at advantage because your tiger was handled properly. You can either make a popularity performance check or a charisma performance check at disadvantage.
Well, I know which one I'm going to do.
So that
Well, we have-
with the tiger, that turns into a popularity check at advantage or a regular charisma performance check.
Wait, make a regular charisma.
Okay.
I'm doing popularity. Performance.
Okay.
Uh, 16?
16 is a +2. How did Alister do?
How many checks total is Alister gonna have to make for this play?
4. There's 4 acts.
Performance. 16. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Oh. It's 2
Don't you
books
have
to reroll.
advantage?
You have advantage if you went... Or no, you don't have advantage if you went with charisma. That just canceled out
Yeah,
the
with
disadvantage from having a well-trained
see.
tiger.
Takes 2 blips to do a reroll?
Yeah, if you want to reroll.
Yeah, because I fucking rolled a 4.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's bad. That's an 18.
Got an 18, so looking at a +4. Okay. Act 1. Well, Act 1 itself went off, other than the overture. You guys kind of got him back with the tiger and the excellent fight scene. And Rubina wasn't in Act 1 at all, so her makeup snafu hasn't come into play yet. We're sitting on 24 points out of 250.
Oh, good. We're almost there, you guys.
Just give up. Walk home.
Give up and walk home. Rubina, at this point in time, she's getting her makeup put on for act. She can't wait another minute to have it put on. Geppa is lurching into the room, heaving, breathing heavily with Rubina's late makeup. She thinks everybody needs to get their shit together and take this seriously. That's her advice. That's the extent of her pep talk.
At that, Genevieve will go, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm sorry, Dad, I can't do this. And she will just start, like, crying in the corner.
Okay. Rubina tells you can cry as much as you want, but at the end of Act 2, you need to go out and give your rousing speech at the Pirate Queen's execution.
You're not helping!
Leo. The title of Act 2 is A Vizier is Unmasked, in which our hero saves the Raja by revealing a treacherous vizier.
Okay.
So when you got to give the overture, it's going to be either... do I need... Yeah, you need to go first this round. Popularity performance or charisma performance at disadvantage. And you have Alister's Bardic Inspiration. After Rubina gave everybody a useless pep talk, Alister came over and gave you a really good pep talk.
Okay. That is a 15.
15. So that's a +1. Leo, who got a +11 in the pre-performance work on fighting choreography, is now sitting at a net 0 for the production as a whole.
Do I think that if I actually did a roundhouse, it would let me make this check at advantage?
Probably not, but I mean, it couldn't hurt. It's what the audience wants to see, clearly.
Do it at the end.
I will hold off on that.
Okay.
Yeah, do it at the end.
Are you steering the story in a particular direction?
I will. I'm going to hype up the fight choreography a little bit, like hint towards like the fight scenes, like you know, try to jazz people up for like the stuff that we're good at, you know, the tiger and the you know, like, hey, more tiger and
the tiger's coming back out.
The tiger's coming back out, and we got some really basically, and we get. I'm not saying it like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to weave it into the description, which
sure.
Apparently I do an okay job at. But like, I'm trying to like, maybe I can swing some extra excitement for the fight choreography and the tiger is what I'm trying to do.
Speaking of the
like
tiger,
the things that seem to be working.
Hugo, I like to imagine like one of those big cartoony like T-bone steaks. While the tiger is taking a break before the big finale in Act 4, you have to feed it.
Yep.
That's going to be a dexterity saving throw. And if you fail this saving throw, you will have disadvantage on all future tiger checks throughout production. The tiger is agitated, having been out on the stage, and
That's a 9.
a 9. So future tiger checks in production, you will make a disadvantage as you have difficulty feeding the tiger. Probably needed more than a week or two of prep with this tiger.
I want to point out that when I did the rolls for the tiger, I lined up an artificer and that was supposed to. We were supposed to put the tiger rug on his steel defender or whatever it's called. So whoever decided to go get a real tiger,
someone else in production while you guys were off at Mushroom Farm.
Right.
You missed 2 preparations or whatever. Rubina has already admonished you for that. If you'd have been here, you could have suggested that.
We did suggest it. I had it lined out, and
and then
I will argue that I will die on that hill.
Not really on a hill, more like a stage with a rose in the center of it.
Is there really a rose there, or is it like embossed in the floor?
It's the rose stage. Well, it's embossed. It's
okay. I'm like, am I firing laser eyes around this rose?
I already have the title for the session.
Oh.
Your play is bad, and you should feel bad.
Speaking of feeling bad, Genevieve, in this act, your character, the Pirate Queen, is being publicly executed, and you're supposed to give a rousing speech at the end.
Oh God, this is gonna trigger her so much. Okay, so I'm gonna take a side here real quick.
Yeah.
In the interstitial between Act 1 and Act 2, Genevieve is going to not commiserate, but like she's gonna seek help from Alister because Alister seems like the one who could talk her out of this, and she's gonna explain that she's terrified of going on the stage and giving this speech because when she was 8 years old. She snuck into a production of her father's, and her father is very private about like what he does as a living because she was young. And she discovered that he was in the center of a wrestling ring giving a speech, and the crowd was booing him as he grew ginormous and shouted his stage name, Andre the Gargantuan.
Was he the heel?
And he was the heel.
Yeah.
And she didn't know what that was. And ever since then, she's been terrified of being, like, made fun of or laughed at or booed or something like that. And this is the prime situation where that's going to happen.
Ooh, and then now
She
you're
needs
playing
somebody
the
to talk her out
villain
of it.
in the evil pirate queen.
Yes, exactly. How did this all happen? Well, we neglected the play, I guess. I don't know. She just read the script like 2 days ago. Whatever.
Well, now
But
you
this
have
is like
to.
all of her fears are coming out.
It's going to be either a popularity performance or a charisma performance at disadvantage.
Ironically, she's like quite popular,
Okay.
and this is a regular role, right?
Yes. If you go popularity, it's regular. Yes.
Yeah.
DC's
popular.
14.
Pass 18.
18 plus 4 on the rousing speech. Well done.
Can you tell me when it's going to be the last roll? Because I might throw a D4 on there just to buff it.
Each of you are going to get a roll
But I-
in each act. We're in Act 2.
Okay. And there's 3 acts or 4 acts?
4 acts.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
What is the manner of execution for the Pirate Queen? How do they do it?
Well, according to the source material, crucifixion.
Really?
If you behead her, her helmet can fall off because it's Boswick.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go crucifixion though. That sounds much more dramatic.
And then it would fire laser eyes.
So wait, do we behead her on stage and then your helmet like floats up and then gives the speech?
Yes, that's exactly what we do.
It's not.
Well, I mean, Genevieve
pirate
has to give
helmet,
the
though.
speech, but... Sorry, what?
It's not a pirate helmet though.
I think she can tinker with that beforehand.
So you make it look like what does a pirate helmet look like?
Has a patch,
a-
an eye patch on it.
Yeah, it's an eye patch with a pirate's tricorn and also her helmet under it for some reason.
Okay.
She's the pirate queen. She doesn't need reasons to have an actual helmet.
Well, you also don't need a reason to have a pet tiger, and you had one.
Oh, of course. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's... I mean, I got an 18. Like, it went well, so I'm going to assume that it looked really cool.
So the special effects were amazing, and
Yeah.
you put it sounds like you put a
Yeah.
lot of lived experience into the speech.
Yeah, no, she channeled her father's, like, heel speeches and has gained an appreciation for being the villain.
Mm-hmm. And her alignment is now neutral evil. Being
No
evil is
cap.
way more fun.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, then is your alignment. Woo.
Alister. The end of Act 2 is one of the pivotal roles of the play because it is the first of Alister's 2 nude scenes.
Awesome.
So you're strutting out wearing a robe that you're meant to disrobe as you getting into this bathing scene. However,
I would just like to point out, if I know their nude scene is coming,
yeah,
minor illusion. You create a sound or an image of an object within range that lasts for the duration. The illusion ends if you dismiss it or as an action if you cast it again. So Alister is going to make sure he is prepared when he takes that robe off.
Alister is his own fluffer.
that's a very interesting thing for you to say because as you the moment you disrobe and you're about to step in the bath, putting all the goodies on display for the crowd, shocks and gasps and stuff as people understand what's about to happen here. There's been rumors for months about, are they doing full nudity in this play? A lot of them are just here to see that part. And as soon as you drop the robe, you feel your minor illusion spell. Does it require concentration?
No, it does
Okay.
not.
The magic holding the spell together immediately blinks away. And
Okay,
the
he's still
crowd
loud.
erupts in riotous laughter.
No, you misunderstand, Brick. The illusion was to make it look smaller.
Right. Oh, it was? Well, the stronger illusion that's been placed on it from parties unknown, let's say that they pulled a Trastyova'd on you. And the crowd is laughing uproariously at teeny tiny little Alister.
That's fine. Alister's gonna play into it.
Make
He's a veteran performer.
Make a popularity saving throw If you fail this saving throw, all of your future rolls are at disadvantage. Because you're just the laughing stock of the play now. Not forever, just for this production.
No, if he has a tiny penis, that's forever.
Well, he doesn't. It's just an illusion of a tiny penis.
Ooh.
He
I rolled a 19.
19?
So 19 is my save.
Oh, you're
He
looking
rolled a
for-
19 on his penis check.
On disadvantage, you rolled a 19? That's a +5. So Alister just...
Disadvantage?
No,
it's
this roll's not at disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
If you fail this,
Okay.
you're at disadvantage on all future rolls.
Oh, good.
So yeah, you look down and like, oh, there's like it's gone. It's a micro penis. It's not there anymore. You know what? I'm just gonna own it, and you just own the scene. You chew the scenery. You're like, I'm gonna be in the bathtub for most of it anyway. After production, we'll just be like, the lighting was wrong. It doesn't matter.
Well, no. So I was like, oh my god, it's so cold. I should get into the bath quick.
So you just ad lib a scene.
That's actually really good. That's actually really good.
It's so cold in this desert kingdom where the story
Yeah.
takes place.
It gets
It's
cold in
nighttime.
the
It gets
desert at
cold in the
night.
desert at night.
It gets real cold.
Geppa,
Uh-huh.
are you trained in Arcana?
No.
No. I want you to make either an intelligence investigation check or a wisdom perception check.
Let's do the wisdom perception.
Okay.
That is a perception of 20.
20. So that's a +6. Geppa, there's a lot of magic in this production from a lot of different sources, obviously. And you have some kind of attunement to it, having seen a lot of the rehearsals. As soon as Alister drops the robe, you realize something's very wrong. And you immediately start scanning the crowd. And you see someone in the back of the room performing somatic illusion spells that immediately flees the scene.
Okay.
Rubina, who's incensed at you for botching the makeup job, wants you to get to the bottom of this. And she wants it done now. So Act 3
Yeah,
is
no problem.
you're going to be catching the saboteur. Hugo, you've been doing a really good job with the tiger. I mean, as good as can be expected.
Yeah, okay, let's go with that. Yeah,
You didn't get your hand eaten off, and nobody's been mauled to death.
Yeah.
After the riotous laughter that threatened to... I mean, Alister clawed it back, but Rubina comes to you. She tells you... I mean, the tiger's got one more scene coming.
Yep.
She tells you, tiger's taken care of. Go with Geppa, help him find this illusionist. And then she wanders off. So you have to decide... You know that the tiger has another scene coming. And that it needs prepped for it. You can either ignore Rubina and continue working with the tiger, or you can go help Geppa catch the saboteur.
I'm going to stay with the tiger.
You're going to stay with the tiger. Geppa's on his
Geppa's
own.
got this. Geppa's got this. He's done this kind of stuff before.
I
Geppa,
feel like ignoring Rubina is the best thing we can do right now.
Yeah.
so why don't you go ahead and give me an animal handling check. DC is 18. I gave you the high ACs because you're working with a tiger. DCs because you're working with a tiger.
This is Act 3, right?
This is going into Act 3. Yes.
Is
Okay.
there any? Can he get advantage on this because I hyped up the tiger?
No.
I'm already losing it. I'm already losing advantage because I got my face bitten off.
You're at disadvantage because the tiger's not fed properly. Yeah, so the animal handling DC 18 at disadvantage.
That's a 5.
5.
You have
Yeah.
blips.
No, I don't.
Nobody's got blips.
No, oh shit, okay.
I have
Oh.
notes.
That's a minus 13.
Can I give him my 2 blips to reroll?
No.
No? Okay.
You're busy anyway, because Rubina is having a meltdown. Nobody's listening to her. Everything's going wrong. Her makeup got screwed up. It's a miracle this tiger has not eaten any of the performers. And now there's illusionist saboteurs in the audience. She's particularly upset because she has a nude scene in the next act, and she doesn't want the same thing to happen to her.
What would they shrink?
Not worried about shrinkage necessarily. They could do anything. It's illusion magic.
Yeah, no, I was debating whether Genevieve said that or not.
Genevieve, the entire production now hinges on you giving Rubina the pep talk she needs to hype her going into the second half of the play.
Well, she is now elated. Like, she's kind of flipped around from like, oh my god, I can't do this, to wow, I can take the world on.
Yeah.
And so she's going to channel that energy and she's going to tell Rubina the story. And every time Rubina starts bickering, she's basically going to slap her at one point and be like, listen, if I can do this, literally anyone can do this. Okay?
So,
I'm scared shitless, and it's going great. If you can't see that, open your eyes.
So I'm going to give you a charisma check, either persuasion, intimidation, or deception, depending on your approach. It sounds like you want to go with intimidation.
I kind of want to do deception, unfortunately, because I have a D4 I can throw.
It's like you're not necessarily feeling as elated as you're trying to let on.
No, I think she's just trying to lie to, like, tell her what she needs to hear.
Okay.
And maybe not necessarily what she believes. What is my... And this is charisma?
Yes, charisma. Unless you can make the argument for some other attribute.
Well, I don't know if it's popularity. Like...
I
don't know. Genevieve is apparently popular.
What is your popularity score?
14.
It's not higher than Rubina's. She's more popular than you.
Yeah, okay. So I'll use charisma, and I'm going to roll this D4. And I got a 12.
A 12.
I don't know. Do I have 2 blips to reroll that?
Do you?
Well, I'm asking other
You
people.
do have 2 blips.
I would not bother with these DCs. We are destined to fail based on our rolls.
We are.
DC's
we are
only 14 on
getting
this.
Yeah,
I thought you said it was 12. I thought
Hey,
you said
look at all this
14.
disadvantage
rolls
you've
are 12.
imposed.
My total is 12.
Oh, actually, we
No,
don't know your DC yet. We need to...
Oh, wait, no, it's 13. My total is 13. Oh, boo. Well, that's plus 1 more.
Hold on to that 13, because I have to determine your DC. Geppa,
Okay.
I need a dexterity investigation check.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
I can make
You
this
would have
spell
had advantage if Hugo was helping you, but Hugo is not helping you.
Okay, so nothing from. So this is just a raw dex, which is +3.
Yeah, I don't have a spell now.
So that's 21.
21. So that's a +7. And that turns Genevieve's DC on her pep talk check to 14. And you got a 13?
I got a 13.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the best I can do. -1's not awful.
Geppa.
No, minus 12 is awful.
Yeah. I gotta check this off.
Geppa.
Or however much I knocked it off.
You catch the illusionist. Well, under what circumstances do you get a hold of the guy as you chase him down?
I figure I can just grab him.
Just grab hold of him?
Faster and stronger than him. I don't think he has class levels.
Probably doesn't have class levels, but he has some renown on campus for being an incredibly talented illusionist major.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they can use spellcasting, but also I'm a second level ranger, so have fun with that.
To whatever extent it matters, the kid's name is Detson. He is Rubina's ex-boyfriend. He insists he didn't want to ruin the production for everybody and is a little terrified of what you're going to do with him.
Death.
Crucifixion.
Crucifixion.
I'm going to tell him that will be his job to clean up the entire stage and the after party area once things are done, and I'm going to escort him back to his seat and make sure he watches quietly.
How do you make sure? Like, do you tie him to the seat or just glower at him?
Stand right behind him.
Okay. So because the saboteur was found before Act 3 has gotten rolling, Rubin is calmed down enough to lower that DC. Genevieve, that turns a -5 into a -1.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Leo,
Yes.
Act 3 is called A Passion is Kindled, where our hero gets steamy with the late vizier's daughter.
Mhm.
And you are making a popularity performance check at disadvantage because you are following the micropenis. The audience is primed to see more of that. Or less of that, as the case may be.
Can I say that if this is the point that Timmet walked into the... he showed up? Because he's everywhere, right?
Yeah, he's all over.
At least for a little bit of time.
What do you need Timmet for?
I would like to use his boon.
Okay, which is what?
I get advantage on popularity checks if Timmet is in the equation.
Yeah. Timmet shows up. There's a short intermission between Act 2 and 3, and that's when Timmet arrives. Like, he wouldn't miss half the play for the world. And he's hyping people up. When he hears that you're the master of ceremonies, he's elated. It's like, oh, wait, he's going to get up there and do this sick roundhouse kick. It's going to blow everybody's minds. Hey, he's talking you up.
All right.
So that cancels out the disadvantage you have.
All right.
That's
that is it's a -1, so that is a 23.
A 23. So that's a +9.
All right.
What's our tally so far?
37.
Not great. Not great.
You started at a 34.
30 butts. Yeah.
But you're in the green. You're in positive overall.
Yeah. Dude, I'd be happy if we got 50.
Yeah.
Expectations were
I'd be happy if we don't get run out of town on a rail afterwards.
Hugo's like, why did anybody think using a real live tiger was a good idea? Last week we fought a rhinoceros, except it was a gazebo, and that wasn't cool either.
And yeah, no, it's like, me holding my entrails in because I'm getting mauled by the tiger.
Nobody's been mauled.
Well, I can make the tiger
thankfully.
my friend, and I'm busy chasing down fucking stalkers.
Alister.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah.
Good news. The saboteur was captured before your scene in Act 3, the big like, kind of steamy romance with you and Rubina. She kills it, by the way. She didn't need any bardic inspiration. So I need a popularity performance check from you. The DC is 14. You cannot sub in charisma because everybody just knows you as small dick energy right now.
Yeah, but he rocks that small dick energy.
But then roll well on this check.
It's no longer cold now, right?
You're wearing pants for the whole scene.
Oh.
You know what? We're so low. I don't even care about using blips.
You got two more.
Dude, my rolls are ass.
What did you get?
No, I give up.
What is this?
It's a 9.
A 9? That's a -6.
Wait, was the target on that 15?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It should be a -5. It doesn't matter, but
No, I'm gonna keep him honest on his math.
Sorry, you're right. It's
but I mean,
-5.
we're getting so raked over the coals right now. Anyway, yeah, no, keep him honest.
Have any of you actually been in a production like this before?
Yes.
With a tiger?
Not one that's gone this to not one that's gone this to shit, but
You're not in the shit until you hit 0. You got to go 32 more points down.
Am I the only person here that thinks that this is genuinely going okay?
yes.
I mean, the tiger hasn't killed anyone, right?
Tiger has not killed anyone.
We have a
That's a
positive
win.
score. Like, you could be negative. We could have failed every check and had like a -50. That would have been a disaster.
And we haven't had to kill the tiger. Those are literally the only two things Geppa's worried about.
Okay. Geppa.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take one full attack action plus a bonus action.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do as much damage as you can, and the amount of damage you inflict turns into your points for the final act.
Hey.
So this is Act 4 now. Okay.
Going into Act 4.
So I don't have a turn to cast a buff.
You have one action and one bonus action to do this.
All right. And this is it has to be an attack. It can't be a spell.
It can be anything you want, but the goal is to try to
Excellent.
deal damage.
All right. So we're gonna start off with a firebolt.
Okay.
That hits an armor class of 23.
Okay. I don't need it to hit.
Healing.
I don't need it to hit roll. I'm going to assume you automatically hit.
The firebolt deals 5 damage.
Okay.
Then I'm going to cast a quickened 2nd level magic missile. Is that 4 or 5 for second
I
level?
think it's 4.
Is it 3 to start? Yeah, it's 4 for second level. And that will deal 10 additional damage.
So that's a total of 15?
So 15 total. Yep.
Detson has sworn he was going to sit and behave for the rest of the play. And he keeps his word. However, he has lied to you. He has not told you about the other person he has in the audience who was going to ruin Act 4. And you see the prep work for that spell, catching it out of the corner of your eye. And you have no choice but to chase down and subdue the other saboteur. But instead of chasing him down, you throw a firebolt and 3 magic missiles at them.
4 magic missiles.
4 magic missiles? Oh, it's level.
Second
Yeah,
level.
you cast less second level.
Casting a level 2.
Which the audience adores. However, this action takes place during Leo's next overture. Act 4 is called A Dragon is Angered, in which the hero and heroine must guard the protectorate from an invading blue dragon. So, Leo, this is either popularity or charisma performance check. And you can make this at advantage if you somehow incorporate Geppa's subdual of the second saboteur into the overture.
Okay. What was the name of the title again?
A Dragon is Angered. There's a blue dragon in Act 4.
Dragon was the size of a dog. Come on.
Not in the book, in the novelization of those events.
Come on. Riot. No. Wait, who actually wrote this?
I don't know if anybody we actually know the answer to that.
We don't know the answer.
Maybe Fred.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make reference to try to steer the conversation back to the play by referencing the magical might on display of it, and steer it back towards a dragon.
Okay, so you're going to connect
And
the flash of firebolt and 4 magic missiles to the dragon that's going to appear.
right. Well, if you think that magical might was impressive, like we have a dragon over here.
All right.
Essentially.
And what was your roll? How'd you do?
I didn't roll yet.
Okay.
Would you said popularity?
Popularity or charisma plus performance.
Do I get advantage?
Good advantage because you're incorporating the spectacle of Geppa capturing the second saboteur.
All right. So that is a 20.
20. 14 plus 6 is 20, so that's a plus 6. Okay.
And I do is this the finale?
Yeah, Act 4 involves the finale.
I do a roundhouse as I make that connection.
Okay.
That's when I throw my roundhouse in.
Hugo. The tiger
Yes.
is involved in the big action scene at the end.
Yeah.
And the tiger
I'm
is
sure he
properly
is.
prepped because you did not abandon the tiger to go adventuring with Geppa instead.
Yeah, but I still get disadvantage on the check because he ate my face.
Only part of your face. Only the part you don't like. So it's going to be a wisdom animal handling check at disadvantage. Your DC is 14.
Oh, so it's a disadvantage now.
It's a disadvantage because you failed the feeding check in Act 2.
But I do have advantage because of my rune.
Okay, so yeah, those cancel out.
Ooh,
Please let that
One of those-
fucking. That is on the fucking nose.
A 14?
Yep.
Okay.
That is 18 on the nose.
Oh, it's 8 though. The DC was only 14, so that's a plus 4.
Oh, okay. You've been throwing 18s at me all day, so it's like, okay.
I hate when the dice do that, though. Look at this. Landed perfectly on the edge.
So I've actually found that you can get out of this if you make it smaller.
I hate when they do that, though.
Tabletop Simulator has one physic, and you all have to share it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was using it. That's why this happened.
Yeah, we all have to share it with Chris. That's why our dice rolls are so bad today.
Apparently.
Genevieve,
Oh.
you failed your check in Act 3 by 1.
I failed by 1, yeah.
This scene, you have lines in this scene as you return as a ghost pirate queen, where they have you up in the rigging, suspended by ropes. How do you feel about being suspended by ropes during production?
She doesn't have a problem with that because she has Featherfall prepared in case something bad happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's not afraid of heights. Genevieve's afraid of like very weird things and like other stuff that should be terrifying, like heights or spiders or whatever. She's totally fine with.
So you have to deliver lines and make certain movements while being suspended by these ropes, and it's a lot more taxing on your body than you probably realized initially. I want you to make a strength saving throw.
That's not good.
I'm gonna let you make this at advantage because you have Featherfall prepped. You know for a fact that if this goes wrong, you're at least not gonna smash into the tiger.
Okay.
Can I throw something in here? I think that. Okay.
What? What are you trying to throw in?
I'm pretty sure Geppa was supposed to be casting fog cloud to mask her descent from the rafters, but he's probably busy right now.
Yeah, he's too busy.
Okay.
You have two interlopers, one of which is almost certainly unconscious.
Well, I have advantage, right? You
Yeah,
said?
I gave you advantage because you're not scared of taking damage. You know you're not going to be injured.
I'm gonna 2 blips on this. And
Okay.
I can improve that. That's much better. I have a 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
+1.
Strength saving throw, right?
It was a saving throw, yes.
So -1. Okay, yeah. So 15. That's right.
And that brings it
to...
all back to Alister, who has the big dragon slaying / lovemaking scene with Rubina. You have to make a popularity performance check, and you can make this at advantage if the tiger is prepped, which it is. So popularity performance at advantage for the big finale for our leading man.
Yay, advantage. That's a 17.
17. Now, Raz, you had said you'd been happy with anything over a 50.
Yeah.
Final
49.
Final score for production is 61.
Hey, that's really good.
Out of the 250 that Brickroad expected us to get.
250 was a perfect score. That's if everybody got plus 10 on all of their rolls.
I watch a TV show called The Mole, where the mole sabotages pots of money that the players can win, and they advertise you could win up to $250,000, but you only won 18,000. Like, that was never going to happen. It was impossible for us to get 250.
Right.
I'm happy with
250 is if everybody's rolling 24s on every check.
Yeah, that would never happen.
Staying at 0 means everybody succeeded every check. You guys got 61.
Yeah, no, this one's super good. Although I almost cost us like 12 points, so that was why I blipped.
The only person who doesn't think the production went really... Well, Hugo doesn't, because Live Tiger...
Live Tiger eating my face.
I will tell you guys how you feel about it, but everyone else in production, except for Rubina, including the audience, you got a good response from the audience. You're 61 in the green. Rubina thinks it was a disaster.
We don't care about her. She's not
41 out of 100 nobles were impressed.
Yeah.
Ben, do you have a cure minor wounds?
Yeah, here, take it. Cure wounds.
Now we have 2 people to clean up the stage in the after party.
Okay.
Yay.
Nice.
The after party is epic. So Detson's accomplice he's the one that you had to firebolt and bring him down. Extremely apologetic. Just one of Detson's bros, kind of a ride or die type, right? And the only reason he went through with trying to sabotage the final act was because Detson hadn't had the opportunity to tell him to stand down. Now, I know Destil's response.
What spell are you going to cast?
I'll let you guys decide. How was he going to sabotage Act 4?
Enlarged person.
Drop a fireball in the middle of the stage.
Probably
know,
not
that's
fireball.
not
That's pretty
sabotage.
destructive. Enlarged
that's
person would have been
terrorism.
funny, especially as
He
Genevieve.
was
he was going to
make
give
a
her-
giant stinking mass of something horrible appear on the stage, with the one that can have smells and whatnot.
Oh, that'd be gross.
I mean, what level? What
Major
level is
illusion,
this guy?
yeah.
Yeah, stinking cloud. That'd be really bad.
Yeah,
He was going to give Rubina a beard.
That would be disastrous. Giving Rubina a big beard, especially during her nude scene.
Yes,
Are
a big
dwarves a
bushy
thing in
Viking
this
beard.
setting?
They're mythological creatures, elves and dwarves.
Oh,
both.
during the time of this story, they existed, and she's her heritage. I don't know.
The story that comes out in the after, you guys, they're not allowed to participate in the after party, but they have to be around so they can clean up afterwards.
Geppa's going to bring both of them a beer.
Okay.
He feels a little bad about, throwing spikes made of living metal into the one guy.
The assault.
Yeah.
Rubina necessarily, like, she wants them, like, executed, right? Like, she wants them expelled from school. She wants them, like, excommunicated from the church. Like, she ruined the story Detson tells you is that he's Rubina's ex-boyfriend. And she broke his heart because last year he missed 2 rehearsals when he was in drama club when his appendix burst. And Rubina kicked him out of drama club for not prioritizing it over his health. That's why he wanted to, and wouldn't allow him back into drama club after that. So he thought he would he thought he was sabotaging the production in, like, a non-harmful way, just to, like, make people laugh. And didn't realize there would be a bouncer on staff.
If Genevieve hears the story, she's gonna be like, "Dude," and float the idea.
But Geppa's
as-
mostly hanging out with these two after he brings them beers and hears about that.
Yeah,
Everybody hears
Alistair
the
has no
story.
sympathy for this nude.
So Alister, no sympathy. Genevieve?
Genevieve wants to float the idea. Can we kick out Rubina and get Detson on the staff? He seems a lot more like.
Isn't
Cool about
Rubina
this.
graduating this year?
Rubina's a second
I
year.
Yeah, I'm
hope
not kicking Rubina out.
Oh,
She's a year ahead of you.
Can we
yeah,
kick
no,
her
I
out?
yeah. Can we just kick her out because
I
that's
don't think we
That's
should.
awful.
No,
I don't.
No, she wants to be here. This is her life. If his response to this is try to ruin everything else and make my penis look small, no, I have no sympathy for him. In fact, you better hope I never have a class with you, Detson.
So any plot you guys have to either oust Rubina or readmit Detson into drama club, Alister wants no part of either of those things. Is that
I
correct?
think.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It's he's not a dictatorship. I mean, he might
Well,
think
for
he
the
is.
record, Rick,
Yeah.
if Detson is ever in a class with Alister, Alister is going to cast invisibility on him during the exam so that he misses it.
That wouldn't work.
You can still take the
You
exam.
just take the exam invisibly.
Yeah,
Well,
he
no,
just
he'll be marked as
he just-
absent because he's not there.
You can just
No,
cast a spell.
he could just punch his paper or something.
Hugo.
You can just literally
Get the
cast minor
reaction.
illusion.
Leo had set up this whole tiger skin on a Steel Defender idea, like an animatronic tiger, until someone else on production said they can source one, and then Rubina signed off on it. It's her fault you had to deal with this tiger, who is very friendly now that it no longer has the anxiety of going out on stage and performing in front of a crowd.
okay. I apologize for my grumpiness because I was under the impression that we had to get 250 up.
250
No,
would have
we
been
fucking crushed
perfect.
Oh god.
We got
So,
61. You said right? I
way
have
too
it in the
way
notes.
too much anxiety.
No, for what it's worth, Geppa thinks Destin is too good for drama club and should go do something cooler.
Okay.
Yeah, so I apologize for my anxiety-fueled grumpiness.
No, you're
I don't-
okay.
I don't think we should kick Rubina out, but I think we should take her to the side and explain to her.
Do you think she'll actually listen? Genevieve said.
I mean,
Well, it kind of depends on the energy that you bring. The after party's popping off, and most of the other people in the production think it went really well. Like every production's gonna have hiccups, right?
yeah.
And you got applause at the end. The audience enjoyed it, and Leo did a sick roundhouse. Genevieve gave a
Yeah.
stirring speech. Like, you ended up at a positive 61.
I mean, let me talk to her at some point.
Well, let me ask this.
Now's probably the best time.
There are 2 items on the table. One is Rubina's kicked out. Alister is a no. Do we have any other yeses?
I say no.
No?
Don't care.
Don't care. Geppa just wants to have a beer with the saboteurs.
Yep.
So we don't actually... Like, Rubina gets
I
to
think
stay.
that's enough no's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
However, you might have enough clout to release her stranglehold on the drama club, which Alister has already done a little bit of that in the past. Leo tried when Leo tried to audition for the role of the heroine, as I recall. Because Detson would like to be a dramatic performer. He's only got 2 years left at school. It's something he'd like to pursue, but he can't if Rubina is going to force him out.
Detson made Alister's penis tiny in front of everybody, so Alister has no forgiveness for him.
Nobody...
He is
You were
absolutely
an
against letting him
unwitting.
back in.
You were just an unfortunate victim.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nobody at
You were
Strixhaven
talking-
knows why that's called getting Trastyova'd. It's just what it's called.
Yeah. It's in some book somewhere.
Sorry about the micro penis.
Genevieve wants to fight tooth and nail for this because she really sympathizes with this poor guy, especially after dealing with Rubina.
Okay.
And if he can use illusion magic, he's capable of doing some really good stage magic.
If
He
I can't
is-
convince Destin that he's too good for this, then I will also support him.
Okay. Detson's idea is he's a noble, and he's got his whole life ahead of him of supporting his family's causes and whatnot. He's got a few years at school where he can find himself. So yeah, he would like to be back in the club for next year.
Again, Alister is also noble, and he is adamant. In fact, Alister was almost to the point where he will put the choose between Detson or Alister.
I mean, I've already written Alister's name in the no column and turned the cell in the spreadsheet red and put a check mark next to it. So I've got Genevieve and Geppa advocating for Detson.
I'm willing to welcome him back as well.
Okay.
I mean, it was a fairly harmless prank, Al. So
And you played into it super well.
it didn't really hurt you.
Then Rubina and I will go start a different drama club.
With blackjack and hookers.
That's a really fun idea for a year 2. The drama at the competing drama clubs.
So you're willing to you're so against this that you would be you would abandon all of your hatred for him is greater than our friendship.
His choice in reactionary to ruin another play, to ruin any play because he was upset, that is unacceptable behavior within drama club. I will not tolerate it.
That's Rubina's position, pretty much.
You do not get angry and then ruin everybody else's hard work at a play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Rubina ruined a lot of people's hard work in this play.
Yeah, she did. And she was
Yeah.
in charge of production.
I'm gonna tell Rubina, we need to have a serious discussion about managing not only the expectations of others, but proper management of personnel. Because
I need a. Oh, sorry.
I was you put somebody at risk of bodily harm
For the sake of the play.
with the tiger thing. We had that sorted out. It was going to be safe, and you just went in without. You didn't really. You made no effort to reach out or tell anybody. You just unilaterally decided, let's get a real tiger instead.
And
That
her
sounds better
reaction, as you call her, is the haughtiest brattiest. She crosses her arms and huffs and says, "One must suffer pride for their art."
Rick, I'm going to need a DC 15 wisdom saving throw from that tiger.
From the tiger?
Yes.
I have a 14.
All right, I have charmed it for one day. It is my friend, and I am going to go cuddle it.
Okay. I mean, it's already pretty docile and friendly now. They only needed it like on its top form for the 2 scenes.
What are you going to do? Yeah, absolutely. What are you going to do, Rubina, if nobody wants to work with you? Because you're acting the way you are.
She says Alister wants to work with her.
So this guy would never bite anyone.
Yeah, but Rubina, if someone's at risk of death, like you got to work with it.
In the corner.
Wait,
like,
Alister, whose side are
says-
you on? She demands to know.
I am on the side of the drama club, Rubina. Your actions, while well-intentioned for a serious dramaturgist, go a little in the extreme because remember, these are students, not professionals.
Who's a good kitty?
I'm just
Can I
picturing.
pet him?
I'm just picturing Hugo in the corner, like wrapping bandages around, like
Yeah.
eyeing. He's like wrapping up the slight mauling. He
The
had.
gouges in his arm.
Yeah, Geppa's just playfully wrestling the tiger in the corner.
Very docile at this point. Okay.
Yep.
So,
Geppa, you could have done that at the start of the play.
They wanted me to run around.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
it's only-
choose whether or not I ran around. That was all Ravinia.
that was
I
Rubina.
think it's only charmed towards him, right?
No, she wasn't that. She's not that mean. No, you're good, tiger.
Does the tiger have a name now? I guess the tiger would have already had a name if it's a sourced tiger from someone's menagerie.
Don't bring it back to our room. We have a tiger skin rug.
There was a guy
No, you don't need to see that. That'd be scary.
there was a guy locally here in St. Petersburg who had a tiger enclosure, one of those like Tiger King kind of guys.
And you're in Florida. There's one of those in every block.
I feel
Yeah.
like the tiger's name is Antonia.
Antonia?
Oh,
Do you call him Tony for short?
Well, yeah, obviously. So, the consensus with only Alister and Rubina dissenting is that Detson should be allowed into next year's production. That Rubina should stop. She shouldn't have the power to kick somebody out of the club because of health reasons.
yeah. It is a drama club, not a drama dictatorship.
Rubina's not going to take this well. And if Alister wants to quit drama club with her and start a better drama club with just the 2 of you who are going to take it seriously to attract real thespians who really care about the art, that would be an interesting story thread to pick at for year 2.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen.
Okay.
Oh God.
Make a note on Alister on your character sheet that you're in a different drama club for year 2.
As long as we're pointing this out, I'm quitting drama club and going to play Mage Tower next semester.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we're going to do the second half of the session is do prep work for year 2. But 2 more things we need to clear up. Well, I have 2 more things on the docket for year 1 before you guys are let loose on break. First, we have rules for partying as a downtime action. I'm going to give everybody a free party action because this after party is popping off.
Okay.
The production was a success. You guys are in the green pretty well. People enjoyed it. Lots of talking. Everybody gets to cuddle the tiger.
Anyone who wants free tiger cuddles.
Hugo
How often
wants
do you
nothing
do
to do
that?
with the tiger cuddling.
So everybody make
What is a
a DC 30 popularity check unless you've lowered it with previous party rolls.
Oh wow.
That's
Wow.
That's a 3.
Did 3 of us roll 3?
Wait. Wow.
Well, I
we all
rolled a
rolled
20.
threes.
But my
Oh, that's good.
popularity is
Somebody rolled.
-2, so I only got 18.
Okay, so
Yeah. Everybody on this side of
I
the
got a
table
5.
rolled 3s.
so subtract your roll from 30 or whatever your DC was, and then that's your DC for your next party check. If anybody
Oh, it's
succeeded,
just a straight reduction. Okay.
yes. So if you rolled, what did you roll? 13, you said?
I got a 5.
You got a
I
5.
got
So your
5.
next party DC will be 25.
Okay, it's not half or something.
And then Alister, you'd already partied a few times.
Yeah, my DC is down to 17 because I rolled a 3 because I don't know what's going on with these dice. Like they start rolling, they just like magically stop. I think your lag is screwing with it.
It's definitely
lagging
my
today.
fault.
No, it's the physics.
I do have 178 dropped frames. 0.1% of my frames are just gone.
They weren't
that's
useful
ones.
frames.
That's what
Those
the
are
20s
those
were.
are the good ones.
All the good
cruft.
ones are gone. Fortunately, most of the D&D streams are just a still image of the table because I'm working on the laptop a lot of the time. So the dropped frames, they're not missed. Okay, so yeah, the party was excellent. Bear with me just 1 second.
I'm not sure why I should make a note of this.
Did we get 1 or 2 D4s for our micro alchemy?
2, because you aced it.
2.
Okay.
I don't have what skills that class was like, really, because I feel like you told us that one would be like that was set skills.
No, I believe it was whatever skills you thought would be relevant
you could
for that particular class.
You could choose a skill for it.
Okay, all right.
Oh, I don't have those notated. Maybe you're right. Maybe I didn't. Well, you can decide now. You get
mine's
2
for
D4s.
Yep. Yep.
Alister wants insight.
I had mine written down for survival from before.
I think I
about
had
nature?
you guys pick it, but I didn't write it in my spreadsheet. I'll do that now.
Okay.
Okay.
So Geppa, Genevieve, and Leo need to pick their skill for Mycolo alchemy. Poison.
Nature.
Nature?
I had selected medicine.
Medicine. That's right. We had that discussion. You had a medicine check that didn't have your D4s
I
yet.
couldn't use that. Yeah.
Leo.
Perception and investigation.
Well, which one? For
Oh, it's 1. That's right. Perception.
okay, perception for mushroom class. Okay.
Right. It's the other one that's 2, and then you only get 1. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's the extracurricular that gives you 2.
All right. And bear with me just a moment here. Geppa, you said you're going to play Mage Tower next year?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop the Play Actors Club.
You have the highest score out of everybody over the course of production. Apparently people think all the best parts of this production happen behind the scenes, especially the daring nature of the apprehension of the 2 saboteurs, one of which was very flashy. You're offered kind of a senior position in your Mage Tower Club next year if you go to join it. You're a person
Awesome.
people are going to keep an eye on.
What's Mage Tower?
It is Strixhaven's version of Quidditch, essentially.
Right.
There's
What
actually
are the rules of it?
There's rules and stuff in here for it. I wasn't going to put any in year 1, so I haven't crammed them and put them together, but I will for next year.
I still think that like switching the rules to that game we played with the giant ball
Mhm.
would be, except like taking like magic is legal,
Yeah.
would be better than whatever the hell they have in the book for actual Mage Tower.
Who wants to
That's my
roll
opinion.
6 D10s?
I'll do it. 1 times.
You can roll all 6? Okay.
Yeah, you could do it.
Hold on. Wait. Let's wait for a lag spike.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is. I saw it. It does exist.
You want them all separately or all together?
Add all those up.
34.
34. Your take of gate and concession for the production amounts to 34 pieces of gold, which the lot of you can split up however you like.
I'll just put it on the party sheet because we haven't actually divvied up the previous gold.
Well, the end of the year seems like a pretty good idea to divvy it up.
So you said 34?
34 total. You guys can split that up however you like.
Okay, so that is in the group pool currently then.
Detson will gift one of you, not Alister, because Alister seems to hate him a lot.
I don't know.
Can't imagine why.
Seems unfounded.
Gifts you with a small trinket. I'll let you decide what the trinket is. The trinket functionally casts a spell once per long rest between a cantrip and level 3 illusion magic. A spell of your choice, and it's the same spell every time. This is just a group resource he's willing to give you, kind of as a peace offering for his part in bringing down the production, which he now feels terrible about, especially even more terrible since he got his best mate hit with 4 magic missiles.
Well, Alister would be the best to have it, but I think the second best would be either Geppa or Genevieve. Does it use our DC?
Is it any absolutely any spell between
as long as it's
1 and 3?
Between a cantrip and level 3, and as long as it's in the illusion school.
Does it use the caster's DC?
Magic items usually have their own DC, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. So, okay.
Yes.
Well,
they
then,
usually
it doesn't
do.
matter who uses it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I'll set it at
so that
DC
makes it work.
14 then.
Okay.
This is it's a decommissioned house relic from House Glauum, which is the noble house Detson belongs to. And they're imbued with just a little bit of illusion magic.
Okay.
He knows some of you by reputation, just because he knows that there's been talk you guys have like done adventuring stuff. He didn't really know what that meant until one of you threw a firebolt and 4 magic missiles at one of his companions.
That is the best friend.
Mm-hmm. So what spell would you like? This is I'm counting this as like a party resource. Like you can pass this back and forth however you like, but I do need to know what spell is in it.
So I would suggest either major image or hypnotic pattern.
Ooh, I like
Yeah,
your
those are
pattern.
the-
I like
think
major
hypnotic
image.
pattern.
Yeah,
Major image is really good too.
having a major image in your back pocket is excellent.
So we're going with major image,
Yeah, let's do that.
level 3 illusion magic. So when you use it,
It requires concentration. How is that going to work? Does the
you're gonna have to
trinket count
concentrate
there?
as you're using it.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
use it and then they break your concentration. I'm going to obviously waive the verbal and somatic components, but the material component would be the object itself, which is what? What is the trinket?
Let me see what the material component is for major illusion.
It's
I was gonna
supposed to be a bit of fleece.
Major image.
I was going to suggest a shadowy crystal. That
Well,
feels
it's
in line with the Veritas eyeglass.
Well, I was going to suggest, since it's a bit of fleece, I was going to suggest it be a small, like.
Well, whatever it is,
I
you
don't
could
know,
also
like
imagine it as like the House Glauum colors, like it's on
Yeah.
their livery and such.
I was going to suggest a sheep,
A sheep?
like a small sheep statue.
The sheep of illusions?
The sheep of illusions, yeah.
The
Literal
sheep of
fleece.
illusions.
Okay.
Wait, does that make you the sheep as opposed to the public?
Wait, hold on. It could be a wolf in sheep's clothing
Ooh.
There you go.
because it's an illusion, right?
Okay.
Made out of granite or something.
The last thing we need to discuss for today, as students are packing up and leaving, some of them are. Some of them will stay on campus throughout. Kinney will invite the lot of you out to her family's ranch for several weeks over the summer break. She enjoyed her foray down into the crazy mushroom dungeon. She's out one of Alister's besties. She would love to show you some of the technological marvels that her people are getting up to out there, and why her family's contracts to crisscross the nation of Gran Francisco with essentially rail lines is the way of the future, and not so much this magic mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, Genevieve's in.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alister will go.
Can your rail
think I-
cart take my crate? Does that
I
fit
think
on
I
the
can
rail
arrange
cargo?
my I think I can arrange my schedule. Yeah.
Which of you were planning to leave campus for the summer break anyway?
Hugo.
Hugo?
I wasn't until I was invited to a ranch.
Okay.
I don't think Genevieve would have left.
I don't think it's safe for Leo to leave and go too far. Like, I don't know. I got the impression that if like Leo or Geppa walked into the wrong, village, we would end
Cell on the
up burnt
map.
at the stake.
Well,
Not
I mean,
gonna happen.
something would end up burnt, but it wouldn't be you or me.
But I'm just saying they would attempt.
Yeah, that's
An attempt would be made, is what I'm saying.
It's not going to
Yeah,
happen at the Bree
there'd be
Ranch.
some tragic loss of life.
The Bree family ranch will be friendly to you.
Yeah, I meant like, I'm willing to go there too. I meant just like you asked if anybody had planned to go anywhere, and I'm
Okay.
like, no.
Was Alister
And
planning to
that's,
stay on campus during break?
No, I was just gonna go hang out with Kenny.
Well, you are now, but I mean, before, did you have plans? What would you do as like a matter of course?
I don't know, romance Rubina. I mean, Alister has no real plan.
I was gonna say, what would Kinney think of that? And then she'd probably be supportive, actually.
Yeah, Kenny's Alister's BFF.
Yeah, they've established that they're besties.
Rubina has a type, and it is small Victorian child.
With a micro penis.
Well, the small implied that. Thank you.
She likes them Trastyova'd boys.
I mean, she knows it's an illusion.
Okay.
I mean,
Hugo,
Alister will invite Rubina back. How long is break gonna be?
As long as it needs to be. I'm not going to put an actual...
Yeah,
number on it.
Alister will invite Rubina back to his noble house and wherever he's from.
No, she is. She's going to spend the summer with her family. She doesn't want anything to do with
Ooh,
Alister
shot
during the break.
down.
I'll point out at this moment that only Léopold has any rapport with Rubina at all. He went to +1 with Rubina.
Yeah, I need more downtime actions.
Yeah, every college student needs more downtime actions. You all have played Persona. You know there's not time to do everything.
Yeah, there is.
There is, but you have to like really
if you,
solve it.
if you use a strategy guide, you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I
Persona
get
is
a
really
Can
generous.
we
can I
get
get
the
a for
strategy
this
guide?
campaign?
I will say that I did Persona 3R without a strategy guide. Got everything.
I don't know how you did that because I didn't even get close.
I watched a friend do that in Persona.
Also, it's pretty easy to do in Persona 5.
Yeah, because he just reloaded every time. Like I watched him play for 6 hours and reload about 30 times
Yeah.
until he got the results he wanted.
Hugo,
Sir.
the day before you all are about to leave to go out to the Brea family ranch to spend a couple of weeks, you don't know how it happened, but Dahlia somehow got wind that on your evaluation you only gave her a meet expectations, and she melts down. She wants to know what she did wrong. Like, she went out of her way. She was like your roommate. Like, she thinks she deserved an exemplary, and wants to know every little detail about what she did wrong. Or is it just because you're stupid and you can't realize all the hard work she was doing?
What did you do?
She can't answer that question because she really didn't do anything.
Yeah, so that's exactly my point.
I mean, she stammers out lots of little things that she thinks make her a good mentor. And it's not her fault that you didn't need her help as much as apparently you were supposed to give her an exemplary. Maybe you should have done a worse job, so you needed her guidance more, and then she could have done a better job guiding you.
Told you to just write down exemplary.
I mean, I'm okay taking it. I'm okay taking a -1 on her. Hang on, what do I have her at now?
I'm not going to impose any change to your relationship. This is just something that's happening with Dahlia.
Yeah, no, Hugo is like he's sympathetic up to a point, but that first impression really did last.
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of how Hugo feels about it.
Okay. Geppa.
Explaining that.
Mm-hmm.
Al-Shahar, when he hears that you're leaving to spend part of your vacation, he gives you a little care package. Thanks you for working with him throughout the year. He found you to be a perfectly acceptable charge. He wrote down met expectations on his form for you.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
And inside
Alright.
the little care package is just stuff he thinks you'll need at the ranch, like a sun hat, stuff like that. He looks forward to working with you some more in the future if the opportunity arises. Very transactional.
Do I have a chance to write him back before we leave?
Yeah.
Excellent. I will. I have a question about this actually. His benefit for being his friend is advantage on research. Does that apply to spell research?
Yeah. And I'm going to give you guys.
Excellent.
I'm going to give you guys a full downtime action before you leave for the ranch.
Cool. So
You
I'm
can
going
make
to
a
show him
roll on
some
that.
magical diagrams I've sketched out for this new magic missile spell I'm working on
Okay.
for perfecting it.
Do you make
You're
a
going to
roll for
perfect the art of using the magic inherent in your own blood to throw tiny pieces of metal at people fast.
Yeah, the research roll works just like the party roll, where
Yep.
it starts at
Oh,
30
okay.
and
I
gets
just don't
reduced
have
over
it in my
time.
notes. Okay.
So So I write him back, but it's mostly my ideas about how we could work together to perfect the magic missile spell.
Okay. Leo. Timid blows it up at the after party.
Uh-huh.
And kind of he just remains timid.
Yeah.
If he got wind that you didn't put down exemplary, it didn't bother him.
Right. I put a explanation. I put a detailed explanation of why I didn't put it on there,
Mhm.
and like I listed all the it was a numbered list of pros and cons, right? Like Timid, when he was present, was supportive, this, that, and other, but not always. He's very hard to get a hold of and not present for long,
Mhm.
kind of situation, you know. And it was an honest critique, is what it was. I think Timid deserves that.
Timid thinks he was the best mentor he could have been, and he looks forward to watching you mentor somebody next year with as much gusto and aplomb as he did. And then he goes off somewhere else to one of his other 18 clubs.
Yeah.
Genevieve, you don't hear a peep from Tempest. She just does not care. Unless you seek her out. You don't see her again.
Genevieve will in her downtime.
So you're gonna during as downtime action, you're gonna do that?
Yeah, that was what I was planning on doing anyway.
All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's take a quick break so you can go ahead and get your coffee, get your bagel. There's gonna be a lot of mechanics for the second half of the session because there's gonna be a lot of setup for year 2. But when we come back, we will resolve a downtime action and see if any of you ruin and or salvage your friendships.
Yay.
Hooray.
That anxiety was way too much for me at the start before I realized what was actually going on. So, buh.
Fine.
I do
Alright.
sincerely apologize for that.
Ah, crap. What? I just deleted like a large part of my character sheet. What is McDohl? What is your her name and roommate? All that. What's her name?
Dahlia.
Dahlia. Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay. You know the weirdest thing that has come out of like the Switch 2 announcement is the discussion of Donkey Kong lore and what is and is not canon and what should and should not be canon from the rare Donkey Kong Country games. And it is just fascinating.
Who cares about Donkey Kong lore? Some crocodile stole his bananas. Go get the bananas.
It's a lot of people. Like, there's a lot of art. Like, because they changed Donkey Kong's design because they kind of stepped away from the the rare design.
They should have gone back to the cartoon, the CG cartoon.
They went back further. They went back to like kind of the original-ish design. But apparently Cranky's in the Bonanza game that's coming out. Like, they've already showcased he exists, so people are like arguing, is this a soft reboot? Does this take place before the original Donkey Kong game? Like, I'm like, dude, it's not that. Dude, stop.
What value do you gain out of this discussion?
Yeah. There's even less value in this discussion than there is in the Zelda timeline. But it's fascinating. And then there's also a lot of like argument about like what is better, what design is better, the original, the Donkey Kong design we've had since DKC or this new one. I actually really like the new DKC design. It's very cartoony and expressive. So that's really nice. Also, in a sad note, all the physical, basically every physical copy of the Lunar remaster got scalped. Like every single fucking one. And now, if you want a physical copy of that game, you got to spend like $120.
Sweet and sour chicken.
today's snack is 4 chocolate Easter bunnies. My wife
Are they
thought,
full size?
yeah,
Gross.
no, she thought I needed 4. Gross. What do you mean gross?
No, that's too much chocolate at once.
That's way too much chocolate.
Oh, well, I ate all 4. They're all gone. I ate them all in 5 minutes. No, I'm gonna be
And did
picking
you-
at them over the week probably.
I was gonna say.
So you ate like 4 8-ounce chocolate bunnies in 5 minutes.
No, I ate a few
Enjoy your
bites of part of
6,000
one. I don't know why I needed 4. There was a whole story behind it, but I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't paying a lot of attention.
Yeah, it was buy 3 get 1 free, right?
No,
I mean,
no, it involved her going to multiple stores, and it was a whole thing.
Wait, what? Oh god.
It could
Buy
just
3
be
get
that,
1 free at this other store.
it could just be that she loves you.
Mm. It's always more complicated than that.
Citation needed.
There was a whole, like I said, there's a whole story involved.
And that's why I spent that year in college.
If it weren't for my horse.
I'm glad you got that.
Yeah, that's some old school Lewis Black, man. Of course.
That's old. Yep.
Have you seen him recently? He's 300 years old now.
Yeah, he's old.
He is melt a little bit.
He is a man in his 70s. Although he looks like he's in his, he looks about like 20 years older than that.
He was
Some
old when he
age
was a young
more or
man.
less gracefully.
Yeah.
I mean, his shtick has always been like rage bait. Like back in the 90s, that was his shtick. So he was already an old man, like in his 40s.
All right. Brickroad, I know how you feel about the Zelda timeline.
Mm-hmm.
It basically the most pointless thing you can think of.
I don't know if it's the most pointless thing I could think of, but
I have been following arguments about the veracity of the Donkey Kong timeline
oh, okay.
because of the new, like, the Bananarama game they're coming out with, or whatever it's called. Bonanza, that's what it's. Bananas, whatever, however you say that. But yeah, because Nintendo has redesigned Donkey Kong, and they're like, oh, is it a different Donkey Kong than the Donkey Kong Country one? Has the timeline moved? Is it a prequel? People are like, I'm like, dude, please stop doing this to yourself.
Just let people have their headcanons. It's fine.
It's funny.
Yeah, but then that just promotes a sense of orthodoxy to it, in that
Well,
And that's also funny.
people want a concrete timeline of events for the monkey.
I get to meet Donkey Kong this summer, and I'm excited.
No, you get to
you
meet
should,
a,
you should ask Donkey Kong where the new game falls into the timeline.
Yeah, I'll be sure to ask him.
yeah. Are you sure it's Donkey Kong and not a man in a
Treble,
Donkey
listen
Kong
to me.
suit?
Listen.
Yes.
You go to Donkey Kong Land. They sell
There is no.
a waffle bowl with ice cream inside of a plastic Donkey Kong barrel. And I'm
Okay.
sure it costs $27. And I don't care. I'm going to buy one anyway.
I have a Donkey Kong barrel that I 3D printed. It's
Do
over
you get
there.
to keep the barrel?
Oh, I assume you do. It's a theme park cup.
How awful
not-
would that be
That's
if they
the point
didn't
you have
let
to return.
they
you,
made
you have to
give it
return
back?
the Donkey Kong barrel.
Would that actually ruin your trip?
If what, I had to return it?
Yeah, like
You wouldn't
not
have- no,
necessarily
the-
ruin it. Would that put a slight damper on the experience if you went and got that and they're like, yes, now we need our barrel back?
No, because there's a 0% chance. This is like covered theme park etiquette. If they sell you the drink in a boot, you get to keep the boot. That's how this goes. I'm sure it also comes with a lanyard you can wear around your neck, and you could probably pay $5 to get it refilled at any. I've been to a lot of theme parks. I know how this works. I just hope the day that I choose to go, because the fast passes are always it's a different price depending on the day, right? And they hover around. I think for Busch Gardens last time we went, I think it was around $90, which was a lot, and we didn't pay it that day. But
Man, I keep we keep getting so on Wednesday we got told basically clench your butt cheeks. Sunday it's going to be an awful, terrible storm that is going to kill everybody.
right.
And it hasn't rained at all. It's nothing, and it's still showing on the radar as I keep waiting for it to hit. I wish it would rain because the pollen count was it was supposed to rain Friday, Saturday, Sunday with no breaks, not a drop of rain. The pollen count is so high that there is a yellow fog cloud.
Oh, that's Persona 4. Welcome to the Midnight Channel.
It's like everything you look outside, everything you just see yellow.
That's horrible.
And it is awful. And it needs to rain to tamp this pollen down because I'm going to die.
Pollen.
I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I already my eyes are already
It looks like the storm is just very north of you.
Itching.
It has not rained here very much either. And by very much, I mean I think it's rained one day this month.
Do we have everybody back? Are we still waiting on anybody?
I'm here.
Whoever's not here should speak up and say something.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I think did Destil say he stepped away?
No, I'm here.
Okay. I'm gonna lift my blindfold then. Okay. I also have an enormous bag of Twizzlers in the back half of my Easter basket, behind the chocolate bunnies.
Twizzlers are garbage candy for garbage people.
I don't.
Shots fired. Wow.
Shots fucking fired, I guess.
Yeah.
Every time I experience joy in my life, one of you steps forward to shoot it down.
And
I'm trying to enjoy
sorry.
blueprints, and every time I'm like, oh man, this game's fun. There's not a butt face. The game's actually garbage, and you're terrible, and life is terrible.
No,
What-
he said the
what- huh?
RNG is he says the RNG is terrible and he hates the RNG.
So
I'm like, man, I like Twizzlers, and Treble's like, I ate a Twizzler once, and my brain exploded.
It is not my fault you're finding happiness in mediocrity.
If you had a problem with finding happiness in mediocrity, you would not play Dungeons and Dragons at my table. This is the most mid D&D table imaginable.
Hey,
I mean, I've been coming back for 10 fucking years. What does that say about me?
Yeah, that's trouble what it says about you. He's the arbiter.
I would like to think things classed up since I joined.
You think so?
No.
I agree.
Not for a
I
second.
100% agree
Not
with
for a
that.
second. I was like, I think I can go with this. No, I can't maintain that facade.
So your last
Howard.
downtime action of year one. Obviously, there's no exams to take. But everything else is on the table. Well, you could retake one of the exams that if you want to try to ace one that you've passed.
I'm going to perfect a spell.
Okay. And you're going to get Al-Sahar to help you with this?
Yep. That spell is Magic Missile.
All right. It's a DC 30 ability check using your spellcasting ability, which you can make at advantage.
That is 16 points towards it.
All right. So your next check that you make will be a DC 14. Perfecting magic missiles sounds like it's very, very destructive. What does that basically?
No comment.
That basically gives you an extra blast.
Just an extra missile every cast, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who else wants a downtime action?
I'll take one.
What would you like to do during your downtime?
You know what? Screw it. We're gonna get friendly with Ravina.
You're gonna have to, if you want to come back next year and
Start your second
Furious
drama
Drama
club
Club.
with with blackjack and hookers.
So +1
Telling me
relationship.
there's drama in this drama club?
Who would have guessed?
They are literal dramatists, after all. All right, so put you a +1 with Rubina. So, yeah, you guys spend the last day before she leaves to go home for the summer. Just blueprinting. So what are you calling your new, better drama club?
Some Latin phrase that translates to super awesome drama club.
Oh, we're gonna need that Latin phrase before the day's over.
Give me a minute.
Oh yeah, no, take your time. But yeah, I'm gonna actually.
Drama is literally from Latin, so I don't know where you're gonna go with that.
Optimum drama clava.
In fact, let me go ahead and. copy
Professional
some stuff
Actors
over.
Drama Club. Instead of people playing, we're professionals.
Hold on, I'd like to direct your attention to the chat, Chris, or Discord.
What? Anyway, yeah, I've credited you 1 point for relationship with Rubina, which puts you at 1. Who else would like to take a downtime action before your summer break?
I can.
Okay.
Genevieve will meet with Tempest.
Yep.
And add a +1, hopefully. Because with Tempest, it goes either way.
I mean, she's kind of curious as to why you've sought her out. As far as she's concerned, your whole relationship is done, and you're both moving on.
Well, that would make Genevieve sad because she thinks that she has more to learn from Tempest.
Okay.
And she also, and she says this like very like anxiously, I want to be your friend.
Why?
I don't know. I've just talking to people is hard, but I've put a lot of effort into this friendship. And it sounds as awkward as I'm making it sound.
Sure.
But like, I feel like I can grow more as a person from our interactions, and as she's saying this, her eyes kind of slowly wander towards the mechanical feature of her. Is it an axe? Does she have a great axe?
She carries a sword that has some kind of mechanical component, which she never talks about.
Yeah. I really want to know what's making your sword work. Please, 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 can I look at it?
No.
Oh. Can we get coffee then? I'll pay for it.
Fine, we can get coffee.
Okay, and that's about the extent of that.
Yeah, that's what a level 2 with Tempest looks like.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks
however,
like.
that
I
gives
got
you access to a
or
boon.
there, right? I don't know what to do for this. So I had some ideas, and they all sort of revolved around Tempest being just stubborn.
Yeah.
So the intent that I thought was like, if you fail a saving throw, you can re-roll it because out of just sheer stubbornness. But that's a really powerful ability.
That's pretty
that
powerful,
fighters get,
yes.
like level 11. So I was like, how do I work around? Like, can you give me an idea of like what I can do?
Boons
to, like,
and
work
banes are supposed to be things that
that
happen
area?
on campus, like during social encounters. These are not things you should be carrying into dungeons with you.
Oh, I see.
If that makes sense. Yeah, like the boons and banes, they could come into play during a stage production like you guys had today, but probably not. If you want her help in the dungeons, you got to get a level 3 and then invite her along.
How do I make this work for like a social interaction?
You can just give it some thought if you need more time to think.
Yeah, give me more time.
Okay. Who did that leave? I think Leo needs to take one still.
Yeah.
I do too.
And Hugo.
I was thinking of taking one with Dahlia. I think I'm at a +1 with her already.
Yes, I've got you at a 1 with Dahlia.
Yeah. Just kind of spend time with her some more and,
Do you want to go up to a 2?
Yeah, she's, I commiserate with her, like,
She
kind of gently.
grills you because she knows that you're close with Hugo. Like y'all are buds. You go off on adventures. You have that mushroom class together. She has to know why he didn't put down exemplary.
I will tell her. I'm like, well, you you made a very poor first reaction and didn't do enough to recover from that. First reactions are very important, Dahlia.
So you're kind of just reaffirming what Hugo already told her.
Right.
Yeah, which she accepts as a non-answer. She's like, well, if you're not going to tell me, fine. She's just not good at taking criticism.
I mean, and the fact that you don't take criticism is another negative in your favor. But you punch real well.
And then you just spend the rest of the encounter going ham on the bag. Because at that point, she's done hearing criticism about herself. So you also have a boon owed with Dahlia. That brings you up to level 2.
Right. Basically, the thing that comes to mind in Dahlia's case is, I don't know, she strikes me as a walking bad luck magnet.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not some of that is self-inflicted is true. But I don't know. Just I want her to and a thing to give advantage on well, I don't know. I kind of want to lean into the fact that just she's kind of her own worst enemy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about how to do that.
You can think about
as
it.
a boon. Yeah.
What about Hugo? How are you spending your downtime?
Relationship encounter with Rex Armada.
Rex Armada. So you'd like a boon with Rex Armada.
Ideally, yes.
The Unification War Expert.
Yep.
Which you took his history class, right?
I did.
Okay. Rex, you're one of his better students. Did you ace his exam? How did you do on his exam?
I did not ace it at my exam, but I did pass it.
In which case, he wants to know when you're going to come back and retake it.
When I have the time. Time is in short supply.
He tells you, confides in you actually, that, well, next year, obviously being a second-year student, you're going to have a charge. One of the first-year students is going to be placed under your wing. This mentorship program is known to go kind of either way, as you've seen.
Yes, I have. I've experienced such firsthand.
However, next year, a first-year student is going to be joining Strixhaven. That Rex Armada, excuse me, has a vested interest in not only succeeding but thriving.
I see.
He asks what you know about the Empire of Delu. You can know as much or as little as you want. This is a huge empire far across the ocean. Kind of too far to be a major threat in terms of warfare, or a major asset in terms of trade with the Republic. But a member of the royal house is supposedly joining the school next year as a first year.
I see. And you're looking for a candidate to guide this young ward.
He says one of you or yours. He thinks it would be appropriate because that way he can be assured that her needs will be seen to properly. Give me an
How's she done
insight
on,
check.
how's she done? Yeah.
You can ask questions, but I just need an insight check.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what kind of has she shown great aptitude or for one particular subject or another?
No idea. The Royal House of Delu is a house shrouded in mystery, and all we know is that it's a female student. That's it.
That's a 6.
A 6. Okay. It's not immediately apparent why Rex Armada has any vested interest in this scheme, but it's clear that he does, and it's clear that he holds you in some esteem as a student who has shown a lot of promise. And I have credited you +1 for Rex Armada, so you are now owed a boon.
He's got old war buddies in town that with a little bit of lead time can get good inside deals on armor.
Oh, to that note, yeah, thanks for reminding me. Go ahead and you and Geppa can write down your 5 gold for your paycheck.
No, thank you.
So what are we thinking? Like a 10% discount on armor?
Yeah.
All right, let's go with that.
That sounds
Ooh,
a pro.
Yeah.
Nice and reasonable. All right, so everybody's had their downtime action?
I think I might have an idea for a boon if
Sure.
we can
For Tempest?
do that real quick. Yeah, for Tempest, I wrote down on a failed popularity check or saving throw, ignore the negative effect because you just don't care. It doesn't matter. And I don't know how often or frequently I could do that.
Okay. You're just learning how to be detached and aloof.
Yeah, just like whatever. Yeah.
And then that just leaves Leo's boon with Dahlia and the name of Alister's new drama club. Going out to the Bree family ranch. I don't know exactly where on the map it is, but it's out in Gran Francisco somewhere. It's out in the center. Who amongst you, other than Genevieve, because I'm sure Genevieve is very interested, is interested in the mechanical workings of the machinery that the Bree family is in charge of?
Hard pass.
Hard pass.
Hugo's interested.
Alister is interested because Kenny is interested.
Okay. So I'm going to describe this in the simplest terms I know. Your characters couldn't think of it in these terms, but imagine a steam-powered vessel, an engine, but it's not powered by steam. It's powered by minimal amounts of magic. But you get all the benefits of having a steam engine that could then be affixed to, for example, a train pulling cars. Effectively, her family has taken contracts to start linking places all around Gran Francisco, which is largely flat rolling plains. So the funiculars that you've used in the little trams up at school are kind of bite-sized versions of the same technology. But you guys get to see one of the massive engines in play at the ranch as her family is working on it. She's very proud of this work, and she thinks it's going to revolutionize everything in the country.
Hugo's impressed. He says that this can have all sorts of military applications with in terms of supply chain.
Genevieve has so many questions, and she's just asking them, not realizing that she might be actually giving them, like, actionable advice. Like, she asks, what do you do if it's anti-magic and you drive through it? Like, can you reboot it really quickly? Can you cold start it? What happens to its momentum? What if you crash? Like, she just goes down this list. She has an entire checklist of just notes that she's making just because she's curious.
So there's nothing really to crash into because it would have to ride along a rail that's been placed. And it doesn't have to be in contact with the rail like our trains would in our world. It just has to... It's not magnetically attached, but it has that kind of similar relationship through magic. So there's a fail-safe built in where if an anti-magic field has been placed, like a saboteur, or if for some reason the magic stops functioning, a mechanical fail-safe clicks into place. And it would just bring everything to a slow halt. and then hold it in place until manually someone would have to come along with a tool to each car and release the braking system again.
I mean, I appreciate all that, but geez, you didn't have to explain it. D&D isn't physics or something.
Oh, they didn't explain it. They have like a circular track built on the ranch, and they demonstrate it for you.
Frick, I was trying to like get under your skin there.
I've answered the question. I have it in my notes. I've already thought of this. For once, I have.
Alister. Brick, Alister asks Kenny,
Yeah.
how many guns she has been able to fit on these so far.
I mean, she carries a long rifle, so you probably, I don't know, how many long rifles could you fit in a train car?
No, not in the train car. How many guns have you attached to the train car to turn into a weapon?
I mean, they haven't mounted heavy ordnance on it or not. But the technology could, in theory, be used as a weapon. There's no reason it couldn't.
There is one problem with that, though, is that it's reliant on its rails, and your enemy isn't going to let you place rails right up to their doorstep.
For defense purposes, if you had rails running around the city, and then some of these armored units, then you could defend the city pretty well against attackers.
Well, if you put enough guns on the train, I'd like to see them stop you from putting rails down.
The process of laying rail is a lot simpler than it would be in our world as well, because the rails can actually be underneath the terrain if need be, which means also the terrain does not have to be perfectly flat like they would on Earth.
Yeah, so Alister pitches to Kenny that she should basically become a defense contractor. She can make a lot of money with this idea.
Her family's already extremely wealthy, and they have extremely lucrative business contracts. But the first such line is supposed to link the school of Strixhaven with the town of Westkeep in Ervalia, kind of centrally located here. And then from there, Geppa not interested at all. No. Who rides the thing?
I'll ride it.
Genevieve does for sure.
Yeah, I'll ride it.
Yeah, I'll sure
She asked if she can
farm
pilot
animals here to make friends with.
Sure. Yeah, it's a ranch.
Yeah, Geppa will start off by going off and doing that.
Okay.
Instead,
you make friends.
Leo
with
will get very nervous, and then end up following Geppa.
Okay. So the train that they have set up here is not materially different from the trams at Strixhaven. It's very, very old because it's one of their like early prototypes, but it's in great working condition, and it's set up to be kind of modular, so they can quickly dismantle or refurbish parts of it to try out new things. So
Kenny asked if she can pilot it for a little bit.
There's really not much you have to do. If you're capable of expending spell charges and even cantrips, you're able to power this vessel. Functionally, what they have to do is kind of show you how to manage the cantrip that is used to power the engine, and then you just have to stay conscious and do it.
Cool.
So it's a two-man job. One person, it's just like on a train. One person will be shoveling coal into the furnace, except it's you using a cantrip, and then the other person up front working the horns and the brake, and there's no turning involved. You're following a rail. But the conductor needs to be up there to make sure there's nothing on the tracks.
What operates the whistle?
Up.
Since it's not steam powered.
The same magic operates all of it. It's magic, Treble.
Oh, okay.
It's not physics.
Okay. Well, when we're done with the scene, I also have the thing.
I thought the correct answer to your question was going to be a cord that you pull, and I'm still excited for that answer. You pull the cord and the whistle happens.
Right, but it's not a steam whistle.
No, there's no steam. Is anybody looking to accomplish anything particular out at the Bria Ranch?
Know what particular things there are to accomplish. So.
I mean, it's a huge ranch, farmland, and vast plots of beautiful rolling plains, and all kinds of mechanical wizardry.
You know what? Actually, Alister is going to try to broker some sort of connection between his family and her family with regards to the trains, because since Alister's family is like an artistic family, he could help design the trains to make sure they look more attractive to the populace, and all that fun looks still.
The sell there is you're going to have to explain why these machines need to be aesthetically pleasing. This is a very function over form kind of design philosophy so far.
Yeah, and so Alister will make that argument that, in order for the trains to be more widely adopted and accepted by the populace, they need to make sure they look good so they don't stick out as, offensive to some people, and depending on different sections where they operate, different little noble families may want their trains to look slightly different to reflect their personalities, and so it's important to take design in as an aspect because it'll
They
help
also
you
need
sell
to be
better.
comfortable.
They put you in front of a drafting table for a few days.
Okay.
I mean, that's the right answer. That's someone else's purvey. Yeah.
They're very very practical people, this family. So like, even if they're skeptical of the idea, like they still want to see the pitch, or like the best version of the pitch.
Alister will use his artsy skills.
But they are also a ranching family, so you can ride horses, you can explore the wilderness. There's a wood to go hunting in.
Where on the map is this?
I haven't actually
Like,
put down a
how
place. Somewhere in Grand Francisco. Like, you can just imagine it being.
Oh, so we are out here. Okay.
Yeah, you could be anywhere in the middle here. They're not going to link their land
hunting.
up with trains. There's no need for that.
What about running a train up to the campus?
Well, that's the first line they want to lay down, goes from Strixhaven campus to West Keep. So it kind of snakes in between like the foothills up where your school is.
Yeah, because that would save, what, like 3 days of travel?
Yeah, the idea is you'd be able to get to West Keep and back within a day, which would be a godsend for... I mean, remember that until very recently, students had to trudge up a mile of staircase to reach the school after the portal stopped working. Hugo, did you have something?
Hugo's. I was just saying, Hugo would be down to do some hunting while he's out.
Hunting?
While he's on this ranch.
Bow hunting or rifle hunting?
Honestly, bow hunting.
Bow hunting? You never used a rifle?
He's never used a rifle.
Well, one of Kenny's like weird uncles is going to want to put a rifle in your hand. If you've never used a black powder weapon, then you obviously can't see the future coming.
It'd be so much easier to do that with just magic. You just see the target in your mind's eye, and the explosion happens.
It's not that hard. Anybody could do it. And Genevieve, like, disassembles it in front of you.
Yeah, okay, sure, all right.
And then there you go. And then you point and...
So the three of you
and
go
she, like, hits
hunting.
a bullseye.
Genevieve's using a rifle, and Hugo's using a bow, and Geppa's using magic missile?
Yeah.
I guess
Unerring.
you can hunt ducks with magic missile.
Really
I think
well.
it'd be extremely effective.
You could hunt
Wow.
5 or 6 ducks at once.
Yeah, the duck hunt duck, it would be like, holy shit,
Would the
dude.
force damage of the magic missile leave the carcass in good condition, though?
Of course,
Does
it
a shotgun
that's-
leave a carcass in good condition?
bullet does D10 damage.
Yeah, but the
Like,
buckshot. I guess
you
yeah,
use
it does-
birdshot when you hit a bird.
Yeah,
You
I'm
use
sorry,
bird
birdshot.
shot.
It peppers them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like force damage is essentially just like it's kind of like it's magical, essentially magical bludgeoning damage, right? It's just blunt force.
Right, which is why I'm
Yeah.
thinking like you get the duck, but like it's part of its body is like bruised and bashed in, and the inside is just turned to mush.
I mean, that's always going to be the case when you're shooting with
Yeah,
firearms.
yeah.
So,
That's why you dress the animal.
yeah.
Now I'm wondering like what is the process of dressage? Is it different using magic missile versus shot?
Yeah,
It
you
must-
cast Cure Wounds after. No.
Okay.
I mean,
Uh,
you pluck the animal and you pull its insides out, and
so Genevieve, you do go out hunting with them, yes?
Sure, she's up for that.
Okay, and Hugo is using a bow and arrow.
She's
Yeah.
actually a good shot, even though I don't think she has any reason to use a gun.
Hugo, is this more of a sportsman argument for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, I couldn't like I have coworkers who do bow hunting versus rifle hunting all the time, and
Oh yeah.
I hear them going back and forth about it, and I'm just like, this is extremely not interesting to me. So go off, my guy.
I think the mechanics of the tools used is extremely interesting. Like I love seeing the operation of a compound bow, but I would never want to go hunting. You got to go
Same.
outside. You got to get up real early.
I
I'm not a
have
fan of
very
it.
serious moral objections to waking up at 3:30 in the morning on a day I don't have to work.
Killing animals and
I
eating
come from
meat,
a hunting
perfectly
family.
fine. Waking up at 3 a.m., morally opposed.
And it's
Yes.
cold.
And it's cold.
Remember,
Yeah,
it's,
it's real
it's,
cold.
it's also going to be cold.
And you got to
because it's the
smear
winter time.
deer pee on your body for some reason. Like they do that.
So they don't smell you.
I had an uncle who did turkey hunting, and it was the most ridiculous thing watching him get ready. And then he didn't even bring a turkey home. So, like, what was the point? He drank a lot of beer. Okay.
That's the point. That's the point. I'm from a hunting family. That's the point.
Hunting is an excuse for guys to get away from their significant others and get drunk.
Everybody I
With
know
what's
who
my
hunts takes their wives with them. So
It's a reason to get drunk. You go out, you sit in a chair and in a box, and you sit there and you drink.
fair enough.
It's like fishing.
Does anybody have a bad time at the Brea Ranch?
Unless you inflict one on Hugo, no.
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
I mean,
I feel like
Hugo has to deal with like the weird gun nut uncle.
Yeah, I mean,
Other than that.
obviously. That's
feel like-
significantly unpleasant. That's not a bad time. That's just unpleasant.
Sure.
I feel like Léopold has a little bit of a bad time in the sense that he like tries to like he sees Geppa like making friends with animals and he tries and he like gets kicked by a horse because animals don't like him.
You're too
Does-
predatory.
Poor Leo.
Does
Like he makes animal
does anyone try to learn anything they're not supposed to know about the mechanical work happening at the ranch?
I mean, she's not gonna like break into their secret archives and download or not download, but like write down everything.
Mhm.
But she might ask questions like to the point where it's like, okay, I can't tell you that. That's a patent.
So,
about
Genevieve,
as far as
they
we
answer
get
your
with it.
questions kind of in terms of you being a very educated layman, but they don't show you
Yeah.
any schematics, if that's what you mean. So, like, if you're like, they're not going to show
She
you
would
the
want to
records,
see that, and she'd be sad. Yeah.
and they're not willing to show you
She'll
any
ask-
of the oldest prototypes, only the current ones.
She'll ask if they're hiring a freelancer.
I mean, not one up at Strixhaven, if you're going to continue
Yeah,
with your
that's-
schooling.
No. Well, you know, networking connections later on.
I'll tell you what. Well, you can go ahead and take a job here, but then you have to roll up a new character.
No. Certainly, I don't want to do that during the campaign.
Right. Okay. Then your first year at Strixhaven comes to an end. Your first summer break comes to an end. Does everybody feel sufficiently educated?
no.
No.
I
No.
do in Arcana, Perception, and Medicine.
Do you want the boon?
Yeah,
Discuss
yeah,
the
if you
boon,
have it.
because I think I came up with something.
Sure.
Okay, I've got. This is what I wrote down. Tell me if this is good or bad. For Dahlia, I've got Humanoid Tornado. When Dahlia shows up, an unlikely event happens that lets you change the roll of a check to a different stat and skill that you can justify. Kind of a little bit like that hat. Sorta.
God, don't give the hat to Dahlia.
The
That
hat's
sounds like
gone.
that sounds like an ace from
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah.
does. Human
Yeah,
tornadoes. So
Yeah, I like that.
you could change a roll to something else you can justify because Dahlia shows up and everything gets weird and a little
Yes.
emotional.
Yes. Yes. Like she shows up and then like things just get infinitely more complicated, which changes the situation essentially.
All right. So now we're going to spend the next hour or so. Let me ask this. Everybody's level 4, right?
product.
Yeah.
How close
Yes.
are we to level 5? Are we even within
We
eyeshot?
just hit
No.
4.
Just hit 4.
You
Okay.
got a
need-
distance to it.
So I kind of
3,787.
that kind of worked out perfectly then. I'm actually
Almost called the boon hot mess.
Yeah, I had to go down to 0 blips to get this level.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think everyone went to between 2 and 0 blips to get the level. So
All right. And what's funny is the level didn't really help you in the production, but the blips really would have.
That's not true. I got a +1 to charisma.
Oh, fair enough.
No, I don't think anything helped me.
But then
No,
you
nothing
rolled
I
terribly.
got helped either.
All right.
Oh,
I couldn't hit the tiger with an axe.
The tiger has been returned to its menagerie by the time you guys return.
Oh.
Yay.
Can we visit in the summer? Oh, wait, we just did.
All right, we're going to spend the next hour or so prepping up year 2. The first question I want to ask, are Geppa and Hugo going to keep their jobs for year 2?
Yeah.
we get a pay increase.
If you keep the same job.
Yeah, I'll keep it then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll keep the same job. I get on fairly well with Helena the Coffee Mancer.
Okay.
The less we say about my relationship, the better.
And there's no skill associated with your job. You gave up one of the D4s, so you can. Okay.
What's the rate? What's the wage increase to?
Let's go up to 8 gold a week
Sounds good.
for each of you. Okay. Hugo,
Yeah.
Genevieve, and
Mhm.
Léopold, would you like to stay in the Play Actors Drama Guild?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll stay in there if everybody else does, but Geppa does.
Well, Alister's not either.
Yeah,
I know Alister
I'll
doesn't
stay.
count. He's opted out. But if I'll stay with the rest of the group.
Don't you want to come join the Ferniskin Actors Guild instead?
You're going with Ferniskin Actors Guild?
Yes, it's a guild for all professional actors in the realm.
Wait,
You guys are going to come to the Mage Tower games, right?
You're not going
obviously.
for Super Terry Bliss Drama Club?
No,
Oh.
Okay.
but our slogan is Optimus Actores Hic.
Go Elementals.
Who is our classmate here? It's not Rubina anymore, I assume.
We'll just put where was his name at? Detson Glowum, who has been allowed back in.
And is now thrust in charge.
That's in what?
He's
Glowum.
a third year.
Glauem.
Oh, I was not even
Okay.
close.
He's a third year from a good family.
He's not necessarily in charge, but he's a established NPC that we can do something with. And then Alister is going with the Ferniskin.
Actors Guild.
And we can
We
keep
will not rest.
Rubina
until
Larkindale
all-
there. Hugo.
Sir, I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind right now because something just popped into my head. But continue.
You can either keep performance and persuasion as your skills, or you can change them.
No, I'll hold on to those. Those seem cromulent.
Okay. Genevieve, you can either keep performance and persuasion as your skills, or you can change them.
I will keep them.
Oh, do we get a D4 for our
Yeah, you get
Actors Guild last special?
you get 1 D4, but you get 2 skills where you can use it.
Yeah.
Whereas your ace exams, you get 2 D4s, but they're for the same skill. Léopold, do you want to keep acrobatics and stealth for the Play Actors Drama Guild?
Yes.
And Alister, do you want to keep performance and persuasion?
Yeah.
All right. I need to
So,
look
okay,
up
so
Mage
this is-
Tower. Go ahead.
All right, so this is the question. So we just had 1 year we were in the Play Actors Drama Guild.
Mhm.
Do we get the D4 check? Oh, we always have the D4 check.
You always have the D4 for your extracurricular.
Oh,
Yes.
I forgot. I could have used that during our thing. I think a
Yeah,
lot
you
of us
could
used
have.
that.
You didn't?
No, I
Oh, no.
forgot. I thought we had to like wait till we finished it so we actually had it. I didn't realize we automatically
No,
had it.
we get to use these dice.
Nope,
I,
extracurricular you have.
I kind of went in a different direction with this character than I thought I was going to in session 1, so most of my D4s were kind of not relevant.
Well, now's the chance where you can change a bunch of them.
Most of the first year, yes.
Your academic ones, you'll have those forever, basically.
Yeah, and they're fine. Like they're not things that I regret having, but
Okay, so I need to look up Mage Tower in this book. Well, let me ask you this: did you have an idea for like your NPC for your Mage Tower club?
I haven't thought of an NPC yet. I don't. I'd need to know like. Are we going? Do we need to? Should we? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
look into some Mage Tower here.
With. So I need probably. I would think we should introduce a new NPC for Mage Tower personally.
We will then.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Am I able to drop my other extracurricular?
Yes, if you want to change to something else. You're in graphic design club.
Yeah, I wanted to switch over to. I wanted to do everything to be more physical this year.
Okay.
I tried the academics, and now we're going to do physical. So I was also going to join a sports club, and since Destil is deciding to invent one, I'll just join that one.
You're not inventing one; it's part of the book. Mage Tower is the official sport of Strixhaven. There's a whole adventure about it in the book. I just haven't.
Elementals.
So you also want to be a Mage Tower player?
Sure. I feel like
Okay.
I feel like Leo probably has feels like he's got to watch out for Geppa a little bit because they're the only two of them that are slightly monstrous, and Geppa has no common sense.
Okay, give me 2 seconds to look up what is the name of the Mage Tower Club here. Apparently there isn't one. Interesting.
Wouldn't it be teams for each of the colleges?
I think that's how it is in the book. Might be
Oh,
multiple
that's-
teams though.
Definitely a possibility, like one team for each college.
Well, I mean, even then, that would make for a good season.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be like a junior varsity and varsity mage. I don't actually know how sports work. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, let me just check the book here. All right, here are the rules of Mage Tower. This is what's printed in the book. If we don't like these, I can always develop our own if it's going to be a major element of year 2, which sounds fun to me. Here are the rules printed in the book. Each of the 2 teams has an equal number of students, usually not exceeding 5. Each team is represented by a small mascot creature that reflects one of Strixhaven's colleges, as described. There's a whole mascot section. So for Prismari, that would be like a little elemental guy, like a little, not a mephit.
Go elementals.
They're called what?
No, they're art elementals, but go elementals.
Go art elementals. Okay. When the game begins, the 2 mascots are placed on high towers at opposite ends of the field of play. Each team tries to steal the opposing mascot and transport it back to the tower at their end of the field. Doing so scores 1 point. So it's like a capture the flag thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Is the mascot a player? Like somebody in a suit?
No, it's a tiny little monster.
It's
okay.
familiar. It's a familiar.
Okay.
Each of the
It's like a
5
familiar,
colleges
yeah.
has their own little tiny creature that's their mascot, and they are familiar options for members. So you're, as Prismari students,
There's
you
a pest, and I
imagine-
don't remember what the spirit maybe.
this is capture the flag with familiars. The team that scores, so the game occurs in 3 phases of 20 minutes each. The team that scores the most points by the end of the 3rd phase wins the game. Anything that could cause damage to a participant, mascot, or spectator that would damage the field of play in any way is prohibited. Breaking this rule results in expulsion from the game. So magic is legal unless it breaks something. Questionable use of magic can be called as a foul by the game's referee. And participants who accumulate 3 fouls are ejected from the game. So it's capture the flag with elementals.
So what I'm hearing is it's something like Scorching Ray is fine. Fireball is not.
Well, Scorching Ray deals damage.
Anything that deals damage is not. okay.
Entangle is fine.
Entangle is fine.
I'll tell you what.
Ray
let's-
okay.
Disablement would be fine.
Okay, so I heard that as anything is fine as long as it doesn't damage the state, like the stadium is what I heard.
Or
Players,
damage
mascots.
yeah.
yeah,
So-
okay.
Old person is fine.
If we like the idea of capture the flag with little familiars, I could think of some ways to improve that rule set. But if we like the general rule set, we'll just roll with that, and I'll make it a little punch it up.
Does it say all magic, or does it say magic, or does it say all damage?
It says
So, like, if Leo punched
anything that does
somebody-
damage,
Okay.
expulsion from the game, and then questionable magic can be called as a foul, but it doesn't define what that means. This is a question for Leo and Geppa. Because let's work under the assumption that each of the 5 schools has their own Mage Tower team. What is the name of the Prismari team?
He said elementals.
I think it's the elementals. Yeah, they're named after the mascot, right?
Well, what are the other mascots?
An ink thingy.
Yeah, I can look that up, actually.
I like ink thingy.
I forget what it's called. I
The
just
ink
remember
thingy.
ink shield is the spell.
There's an
Spirit
inkling.
statue. Yeah, fractal, inkling, and pest.
An art elemental.
Yeah, the art elemental is Prismari. The inkling is Silver Quill. The pest is Witherbloom. So it's like a little kind of like bug monster thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Often referred to as living expressions, an art elemental as an aspect of creativity and emotion.
A spirit statue sounds like Darkwood. And then there's like a fractal mascot for Quandrix.
About
Yeah,
the
I like
living-
the idea that they're called the elementals, but anyone feel free to veto me on that.
No, I think
How about
it's great.
How about the living expressions? I don't know. It feels like the name would be slightly artsy fartsy.
2 words is too much for a team name. It's got to be the something, I think.
The Prismari elementals.
I think the Prismari
Yeah.
elementals.
I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Quandrix mascot is the big D8 angel from Evangelion.
So in Planescape, they have a creature called a Moingno, which is a 2-dimensional creature created by the Modrons to work as calculators, basically. And the Moingnos are perfectly logical creatures, and their minds work so quickly that they could take over the entire multiverse. And the Modrons had to bring them to bear, like had to reel them in somehow. And they did this by introducing them to the concept of pi. So now every Moingno is obsessed with calculating the precise value of pi, and that's why they can't take over the multiverse anymore.
Yeah.
This is all
So,
canon.
following-
It's printed in ink in the book.
Yeah. So following the logic of ours, it would be the Darkwood statues, or the Quandrix fractals, the Silver Quill inklings, and then the Witherbloom pests.
I mean,
I'm okay
that's
with that.
Sure.
if they're the underdogs, then pests works, I guess, huh?
Somebody roll me a d5. Let's find out who won your first year. Nobody was paying attention to Mage Tower in the first year, but let's find out who won.
I'll roll it.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll tell you what, if it's a 5, then Prismari won, and I'll give everybody a free party roll.
2.
2? It's okay, so it wasn't Prismari.
Nope.
So it would have been Silver Quill.
Yeah, that figures.
Man,
So-
all that silvery barbs.
Oh no!
We have air grease.
maybe that should be the name of their team, the Silver Quill Barbs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
one.
it should.
Yes.
That really should.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Genevieve, are you staying in Pavillon Club?
Yeah, I haven't used it yet, but I kind of want to.
And you want to stick with Insight and Deception?
Yeah.
And Alister, are you sticking with the Distinguished Society of Fine Artists?
Yeah.
And you'd like to stick with Arcana and Deception?
Yeah.
Then the last thing I need... Oh, Hugo's staying in Drama Club. Then the last thing I need are skills for Geppa and Léopold for the Prismari Elementals.
Arcana and acrobatics.
Okay.
Acrobatics and athletics.
Leo's doubling up on acrobatics.
I mean, I'm not a caster.
And if you guys want to give it some thought, do you want to come up with an associated NPC for your mage tower, or do you want me to do that during my planning this week?
The captain, I don't know. It would be the captain of the team, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Or the coach.
Could be. Either one.
I don't have an idea right now. If Treble has an idea.
I think it should be the captain because I like the idea of like a student who's a year ahead of us, more than like more adults, you know.
Okay. So I have all of your extracurriculars for the year. Hugo is in drama club and working at the Fire Jolt. Geppa is on the Prismari Elementals and working as an archaeology hauler. Genevieve is staying in drama club and pavilion club. Léopold is staying in drama club, enjoying the Prismari Elementals, and Alister is breaking away to found the Ferniscan Actors Guild and is staying in the Distinguished Society of Fine Artists.
Yes.
Okay.
Mort.
Next. I have to delete a whole bunch of stuff.
Deleted.
Oh, I have been using the new homestarrunner.com website
Wait, they actually launched a new
a lot
website?
lately.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a new
.com
this is a new
website.
Oh my god, I didn't know.
.com.
Oh no, I watched the video, but I
.coms.
watched it on YouTube.
Literally homestarrunner.com.
Oh,
Go for it.
well, I'm not going to do it right now because I'll.
It's cataloged. It's
Has
all
anyone
like,
in the history of anything ever used a sitemap?
I've
I
never
think
clicked the site map.
I think homestarrunner.com now counts as a sitemap.
They have a
I
3D
actually-
sitemap.
I actually have used a sitemap trying to find HR so I can apply for a job.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm the weirdo.
we have more decisions to make for year 2. I want to. Once again, you're going to have one class in common for all 5 of you.
Right?
The circumstances can be the same if you want, but the circumstances could be anything. It could be the 5 of you got together and decided to take one class in common. It could be that it's just pure coincidence that you all happened to sign up for the same class without discussing it. It could be like it was last year where you got strong-armed by faculty into taking a class none of you wanted to be in. But you'll have one class in common.
I am going to suggest that seeing the split between the play actors clubs, Geppa suggests that we all take a class together.
Okay?
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
good. What do we want to
Fair.
take?
Intro to
Genevieve-
runes chasing.
Sorry.
Intro to runes chasing.
Is that
Something
Ooh,
that we
yeah,
something that we
something relevant to us all.
What about puppy therapy?
Oh, I was actually thinking of like psychology 101, how to get along with people you don't like.
how to win friends and
How to make friends and influence people. You show up the
Yeah.
first day, they teach you how to use charm person, and that's it.
Yeah.
Geppa would get an A in that class.
and then you have to charm the instructor to get them to give you an A.
So you're each gonna
4 blips.
you're gonna as a party you're gonna come up with one class the 5 of you all have together, and then you're each gonna come up with your other 2 classes,
Okay.
and you can do that independently or however you like.
I have a question about one of the classes I'm thinking of taking.
Sure.
So, I want to be able to make armor
Mhm.
because I need to make armor for my character, and Hugo does too. I was going to pitch a class for blacksmithing that has a project fee, which would be the cost of the armor, but that would let us craft armor over the course of the year.
Yeah, as long as you like when it comes time to pick your D4, just pick like smith's tools.
I mean, I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
But
That's cool. What do you want to call
Okay.
this class?
intermediate and advanced armoring.
Intermediate and advanced armoring.
Like, this is open for discussion. It's just what I thought.
Well,
Like,
this
we're
is
making full plate. Like, that's
Could be
pretty
one of
advanced.
those, either intermediate or advanced.
maybe there's not enough students who want to do it, so they had to combine the 2 classes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, how
yeah.
many blacksmiths are there on the campus?
Just you and like 2 other guys.
Yeah, me and
Okay.
Hugo.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'm
I
okay
keep
with that.
closing the book, and I shouldn't because I keep having to reopen the book to reference things. You would think, but you'd be wrong. That, to me... That, to me, sounds like a Darkwood class. But I could hear an argument for some other college if you have one.
No, I'm okay with that.
Are you
I do want to take I do want to take a Prismari class this year, though.
Are you going to take this intermediate and advanced arming class with Genevieve?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Put that down.
I have given it a class number and a code. Project 299.
Okay, we'll put that into Darkwood. And Genevieve, you wanted Smith's tools?
Yes. Yeah, let's go with that.
And what did Hugo want for your skill?
I'll take Smith's tools as well.
Okay.
I can't justify making that thieves' tools, can I?
I don't see why not.
I just feel like that would come up a lot more often than Smith's tools would.
I mean, you can take whatever weird approach you want to the class. I'll change it to Thieves' Tools if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do Thieves' Tools because I can see using those D4s a lot more often.
What would the course code be for Intro to Law?
101, 106, 10 something.
So Geppa wants to take Intro to Law?
Yes. Law 102. That would also be a... no, it's going to be a Silver Quill, isn't it?
With Silver Quill, yeah, that seems correct to me. And what skill did you want for Law 102?
Insight.
Okay. Who has another class?
I got some. So with the D4s, if we have, let's say, 2 classes that both use investigation, and we ace both the exams, would that give us a total of 4 D4s, or are we not stacking?
You can use as many D4s as you have associated with a skill. But remember, each one gets checked off independently.
Yeah, but we can stack them. So if we take like 4 classes that all use the same skill, we could end up like the 8 D4s or something.
Oh yeah, my assumption is if
Okay.
you're that focused on one skill, you deserve to get big numbers on it.
Okay.
Okay, I have another class.
Okay.
I'm going to take Natural and Magical Physics and Calculations.
Natural and magical physics and calculations.
Yep.
That sounds like Quandrix.
Can I get into that one
Yeah,
too?
it's definitely one.
Sounds like D&D
Sure.
is physics, trying to make D&D
Yeah,
physics, my friend.
That's exactly what it is. The skill I'm taking with it is Nature.
And Geppa, you also want in this class?
Yeah, I'm going to take that as Perception, though.
Okay. So Geppa and Genevieve are out of class choices. Hugo gets 1 more. Léopold and Alister get 2.
I have the 2 that I want.
What would you like?
I would like Art 301, Magical Art,
That's definitely Prismari.
which is a performance skill.
Okay.
And then Art 302, the Magic of Song, which is a persuasion skill.
I could see that going Prismari or Silver Quill, if it matters to you.
Let's make it Silver Quill.
Okay.
Interesting.
None of you mofos took any classes in our.
Yeah,
I
magical
think
art
that
is in
the
Prismari.
The third one that we're all taking should be Prismari.
So Hugo's got
I have-
1 slot and Leo's got 2.
Okay, I'll let him finish. He said he had both his.
Well, Alister's done. Hugo's got 1 slot left.
Oh, okay.
And you've got 2.
Alister already gave his.
Do you want to finish up, or do you mind if I go?
No. Throw one out. I'm trying to think of how to best phrase it.
Okay, I want. I also have an idea for the group class that I'll throw at the end.
Mhm.
Don't let me forget. I want to do. So okay, I googled apparently you can get a college degree in Taekwondo. That's what I googled. So I have
Okay.
and I'm just substituting Taekwondo for hand fighting because that's what they call martial arts. So hand fighting demonstration, and I want performance. No, acrobatics there.
More. I think
And-
you're tripling up on acrobatics now.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, at some point I'm gonna roll like a 40 on acrobatics. It's gonna be amazing.
Be a hell of a roundhouse kick.
Yes,
That sounds like
that's what
this
he's
sounds like
building. That's what
Prismari
he's,
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm intending for all my classes to be in Prismari this year.
Oh, okay.
And this is a real class that a real college offers.
Sure.
Again, substitutes Taekwondo for hand fighting. So hand fighting, technical system theory, athletics.
I'm gonna have a real fun time developing questions for these exams.
Yeah, I know.
Hand fighting demonstration, hand fighting technical system theory.
Yeah.
Hugo, you've got one slot left.
I'm having trouble thinking of the name, but something just to work on his axe swinging prowess.
What skill are you associating with it, do you think?
Probably athletics.
Okay.
Take forestry. Forestry 101.
Martial 300, the art of the axe.
It's your decision. You could take one of those suggestions if you want.
No, not forestry 300. That's silly.
It's all
Forestry
silly.
management, come on.
Nothing is more silly than hand fighting technical system theory. That's the silliest by far.
I want to find the syllabus for this class.
I'm just having a trouble. Well, throw those suggestions out at me one more time, please.
Martial 304, the art of the axe.
Okay, that works.
Can you type that into the chat also? I'm collecting all these names.
I'll paste them all when I'm done.
Okay, cool.
That I could
If you
see
have a
that
number,
being
put it in.
Prismari. I could also probably see that being Darkwood, maybe.
Silver Quill also has a pretty big martial focus.
Mm-hmm. If you have a
But I want to take.
preference, you want to.
I want to take one, possibly two Prismari classes.
All right, I'll put you in Prismari then. It's fine. And then we have one class that you're all are taking together. Have we decided we wanted this to be a Prismari class?
That was just my
Sure.
suggestion. Yeah.
I agree with that.
I have a suggestion. Oh, by the way, did I say performance or I forget because did I say performance or demonstration?
Demonstration.
Demonstration. Okay, I was just making sure that it matched. I like a group combat class, like for like a class about for like fighting in a group. to like, because like the purpose of like Geppa was like, hey, to keep our team cohesion up, right? So maybe like some kind of group combat tournament class. I don't know. We could have a tournament arc. That's like.
Oh, this next year is going to have a tournament arc, and it's going to have a Mage Tower arc, and it's going to have drama club drama. Year
had to
2 is
fight you
jam packed. Now, you think like a stage fighting class?
Kind of like
What about like a military tactics class?
Yeah, like a group,
Yeah.
like small group tactics. That's what I'm thinking of. Like there,
Yeah.
and like the tests for
Chainmail,
that.
small unit tactics.
Small
Yeah.
unit tactics. You just like
Wait,
SWAT
what is the
teams.
subtitle of chainmail? What is the actual subtitle? I know it has one.
I don't know. I don't know.
You'll have to Google through that.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
gonna be easy.
Like I don't know. That just seems like a class that we could
Sure.
get some.
Yeah. Small unit tactics.
Small unit tactics.
Seems like something we could get some encounters out of.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually have its subtitle. Chainmail rules for medieval miniatures.
That doesn't make sense.
Rules for contemporary miniatures.
And let's do this. The instructor for small unit tactics is our good friend Rex Armada.
Sweet.
This is a great place to put stealth.
And what skill would everybody like to associate with small unit tactics?
Better dice rolling.
It's not a skill. That's up to the gods.
That is a tactic, but Genevieve will do stealth.
Okay.
I'll take animal handling.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'll take acrobatics again.
Okay.
Insight.
Perception.
And Hugo wanted insight.
Insight.
And Alister wanted perception.
Yeah.
So you have to pass your exam before you get any of these D4s.
Yep.
All right. I have one more major decision to make before I can finalize all the year 2 planning here. The beginning of year 1, we each drew lots so you could line up and select your second year mentors. Now that your second year is yourself, we're going to draw lots so we can line up and select your first year charges. You're going to be a mentor to one of these students.
Right.
We actually don't have to draw lots because I'm just going to go in the reverse order as before. So previously, Destil was stuck at the end and got stuck with the leftovers. And this time Raz will be
He's a
stuck at
good
the end.
kid.
I'll do it. Yeah, that's fine.
So Destil, I'm going to introduce you to one of these first year students. These are new students coming into Strixhaven that you'll meet on your first day of the second year. And you can smash or pass.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First on block is Allie. Allie is a prissy, preppy daddy's girl. She's in House Darkwood, and there's something noticeably strange and inhuman about her. She doesn't have any physically inhuman features, but she just gives off this vibe that's hard to describe. Her alignment's chaotic neutral. Make the rules, then you don't have to follow them. Ideal is daddy says I'm already perfect. Flaw is you deserve what you get.
Pass.
Pass on Allie. Next up, we have Rafa. Rafa is the only actual non-human on offer today. He's a rat folk. He's extremely quiet, shy, and self-conscious. And House Quandrix, alignment is neutral, stay unseen. Ideal is detect hostility. Flaw is affect nothing.
Yeah, smash. Let's do that.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds like the perfect opposite for you.
Let me pull up.
This poor rat.
What was his name again?
Rafa.
Rafa.
R-A-F-F-A.
Oh, fuck, he's useless.
No, that's PHA.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
Yeah, remember they retranslated.
Well, yeah, with the retranslation, it's,
Oh, Final Fantasy Tactics. Got it.
Yeah.
it's,
Rafa's
March,
actually not that bad. It's Malik that's not great.
All right. So you've chosen Rafa the Rat Folk. So he'd be one of the few actual non-human students at Strixhaven. Chris, starting you at the top of the list. First, we're going to offer you Allie, the daddy's girl.
Not pass.
Pass on Allie. Next, I have Fenance Kinwade. Fenance is in House Silverquill. He's an Aethar in training, extremely devout, a true believer. Alignment is lawful good. Air lays out paths before us. Ideal is the spark of creation burns within everyone. Flaw is punishment is the path to absolution.
I can't deal with another Ekin.
He is kind of Ekin too, yeah.
At Ekin 2, Electric Boogaloo. Okay. Next up, I have Yvette Antlers. Yvette is in Witherbloom. She's a young Losterian woman, so she's from the far north. She specializes in ice elemental magic, and she has a proud warrior heritage. Alignment is neutral good. Work hard, fight boldly, make merry. Ideal is the high north, is the spine of the world. Flaw, fire is the devil's plaything. If you don't take Yvette, you'll be stuck with whoever comes next.
No, I like Yvette.
You want to take Yvette Antlers.
Yeah, warriors make good stories.
I may or may not have conceptualized this character after playing some Elder Scrolls and dealing with the Nords.
It's the Elder Scrolls.
I haven't actually
Syria belongs to the Nords.
I haven't actually got to Skyrim yet in that playthrough. And in my defense, when I think of the North, I'm always going to Game of Thrones anyway. Like, that's my North. Treble.
Yeah.
I'm going to offer you Allie, the daddy's girl, up at the top.
Sure.
All right.
Jumping on that grenade.
Yeah.
Léopold wants the daddy's girl from House Darkwood.
I don't want the daddy's girl. It's just, I don't know.
McDohl. I'm going to start by offering you the Aethar in training, Fenance Kinwade. If you don't take him, you got whoever comes next.
Let's see what happens with my last guy.
The final option is Elegant Sumai. She's in House Prismari. She is a wealthy royal noble from Delu, Strixhaven's first exchange student from across the ocean. Unearthly beautiful, demure, and dangerous. Alignment is lawful neutral. I have duties to fulfill. Ideal, failure occurs from a lack of concern. Flaw, imperfections are devastating.
Yep, looks like I'm stuck with her.
All right.
Can you
What
spell
was the name one more
Fenance
time?
for me? Oh, sorry.
Her name is Sumai, and her title is Elegant, so she's referred to as Elegant Sumai. I'll post all of this in the chat.
Okay.
All right, so that means Genevieve is stuck with Fenance Kinwade.
Can you spell his name for me?
I'm going to paste all of this in the chat. I just need to space it out properly on my document, and then I'll do the whole paste dump. Oop, okay.
I'm going to make sure that Yvette and Kenny become BFFs.
I'm going to do one last check to make sure I'm not pasting anything you guys aren't allowed to read yet.
This is Alister's plan, is to like befriend a bunch of NPCs and then make his own drama club that then attacks ours.
All right, there's all your first year charges. So when we come back next week, your first task is going to be kind of dealing with these first year charges.
Wow, I was not even close to spelling some of these.
And you wanted... I don't know how well this is going to paste into your chat, but I'm going to paste it anyway. There's extracurriculars.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's class schedules. Doesn't look great, but make of that what you will.
Yeah. So
Okay.
on the hand fighting is, I recall hand fighting being like kind of looked down upon and very unpopular in the previous campaign. Is that still kind of, does it still kind of have that stigma?
Probably a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
You have a typo for Hugo and I's tools in intermediate and advanced armoring. You gave him my thieves' tools.
What?
Yeah, I've got Smith's tools.
I wouldn't make a mistake like that.
Oh.
I just don't want you to call me on it later.
All right, I have corrected that.
I got to add this person to my character sheet.
Guess. You know what? I'm just gonna leave the teachers to you.
Did
Okay.
Tempest have a last name? I assume she didn't.
I don't think you've ever asked her.
Some friend you are.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, for me to type into this sheet that doesn't exist in Genevieve's head.
I guess the last thing you need to know for year 2 is they've changed the housing rules a little bit. So instead of moving to new housing for year 2 students, they're going to keep you where you are.
Of course.
That's good.
And
this room.
once again, Dahlia gets swept up and finds that she's your roommate once again.
And before she can say anything, the instant she shows up, I'm like, oh man, they give us a 3rd year.
She opens the door and the rug goes.
The tiger goes off.
"Rawr."
Welcome home, Dahlia.
And then like I look down. You turned that off though.
I swear I did. And then she shrugs meekly and walks away with a smirk.
What's that like hilarious redneck fish that everybody has in their basement den? When you walk past it starts singing at you?
Oh
Billy
god,
Bass.
The
Billy
singing
Bass.
Yeah.
Singing Billy Bass.
That's what I think of this rug. All right. So we're going to break a little early this week. We got all the... I want to make sure we did all the paperwork and stuff correctly. It feels like I'm forgetting something, but I don't think so. Ooh, I get to write all new exams now.
Congratulations.
I have to write exams differentiating hand fighting demonstration and hand fighting technical system theory.
Well, I figured the hand fighting performance. I thought you said I wrote down performance.
Oh, I have demonstration. Do you want performance?
No, demonstration is fine.
Okay.
Demonstrate. It's fine. It's the same. Essentially, they're synonyms. It's fine. But I don't know. That seems to me to be a.
What do you think is the
Hands-
difference between the two?
The demonstration is like you're you're demonstrating, and performance is
No.
demonstrating.
The difference between demonstration and technical system theory.
Oh, demonstration is like forms and katas and things like that, and technical system theory is where to punch things to do the most damage.
Okay.
It's kind of like an anatomy class, I guess.
All right.
Like, if you bend the joint this way, it really hurts. If you bend the joint this way, it pops it back into the socket.
But do you demonstrate that in technical system theory?
In the final.
Well, I don't know.
Or do you do the demonstration in hand fighting demonstration?
Brickroad, these are real classes
Understood.
that I took the names of. I could look up. Do you want me to look up their course catalog and get you the class description?
Yes.
In order to find the
That
syllabus.
sounds fantastic.
You find it on the site map.
Now, I do know that you can just go online and buy a black belt in any martial arts tradition you want. That's just kind of how it works.
Oh, I didn't notice this. This is a Christian universe.
So it's
So to get the so part of their general education is BS 101, a survey of the Bible.
okay.
That's interesting.
Christian hand fighting demonstration.
Yeah, there you go.
BS as in biblical studies, I assume, and not.
So this is a bachelor's in Taekwondo, is what this is,
That's
from a Christian university.
yeah. You know what? That sound. I'm not. I'm not going to finish that sentence. I'm not going to. I'm just going to swallow that.
Are they accredited?
I don't know.
I have everything I need. I guess the last thing we can do is pass out some blips for today.
Sure.
So I'm going to go dark for
I got
2
blips.
seconds while I finalize some notes here if you guys want to discuss your blips. And I think the performance went rather well considering.
I feel better about it now that my brain wasn't fixated on 250 as pass or fail.
No,
I
you
hope-
were going.
Everybody had a chance to decompress in between the adventures of year 1 and the adventures of year 2. I'll be back in 2 minutes to accept your blips.
Who was the most creative today?
I would like to give that to Raz for coming up with for weaving backstory in the middle of all of that.
Yeah, I agree. That was really good.
I do need a blip because I spent blips on this.
Well, we all have 0.
We all have
I got-
0. So
Yeah,
You get no sympathy there, sir.
that's fair.
Who furthered the party's goals the most today? I want to say Alister.
Okay.
Because he was the one who kind of like he was the leading man. Let's be honest. He did a very good Khalil.
For baltheering it up.
I worked with a micro penis. That's all you can ask for.
Which one was that? Sorry, for the party's goals.
Alister.
That was Alister.
Alister. And it was further the party's goals, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Badass would be Geppa for just
Cuddling the tiger.
no.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. No, that sounds right.
That wasn't what I was gonna go for, but
No,
sure.
you were gonna go for the magic missiles, but I think the
I was gonna go. Listen, the magic missile stuff. That was extreme and sudden violence, is what that was.
I was told to do as much damage as possible.
Exceeds all expectations.
If I had had one round to catch Shillelagh, I could have done a lot more than that, but might have killed a kid.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wasn't
you
gonna let
would've
you kill the
gotten XP.
kid. I was just gonna knock him unconscious for you.
Oh, no XP for that then.
No XP. No encounter XP. No combat XP.
Yeah,
this session.
No.
despite
just-
finding a place to employ violence, we still don't get any encounter EXP.
Technically, Alister did slay a dragon, but it was like a fake stage dragon.
And also, again, that dragon was the size of a dog.
It was fated to die.
All right, who wants to give me some blips?
Sure.
Genevieve, go ahead.
Alignment chaotic good. Everything has an explanation. I bet I can figure it out. Asking tons of questions about Kenny's family train engineering business.
Okay, and getting stonewalled on the schematics.
Well, of course, but
And
still
then
curious.
not quite having the stones to sneak into their archives.
No, she doesn't want to. I mean, because Kenny is I don't know if acquaintance is the right word for it. Coworker, I suppose now. Yeah, don't want to damage that.
Well, she's Alistair's bestie.
Ideal. Yeah, well, that too. Ideal. What would Eugenia Veritas do? For using her homunculus during the production to give her speech after being beheaded, in air quotes.
Okay, I'm going to award you that blip. And now I'm going to ask Treble a question.
Yeah.
Treble,
Sure.
would Jeannie have snuck into their archives and stolen the schematics?
I think Jeannie would have.
I'm gonna rewind the clock
Yeah.
and remember when we went to a factory and I specifically said I would like to sneak in and steal these schematics, and I ended up in a boiler
Yeah.
or a furnace.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the time you tried to steal the secret of electricity from the lord of like the entire universe.
Yeah, you did
Aslan
try to
Rex.
steal the secret of electricity from Aslan Rex.
I remember
Yeah.
you dismantled the steam engine on that riverboat and took it home.
Yes. Right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like multiple.
There's also the fixed point defense cannon in that one dungeon.
Yeah, Genie will do whatever it takes to acquire new technology.
The girl we found then is an
That's
important.
not true,
We found an important distinguishment between Jeannie and Genevieve.
Well, no, we found an important distinction between Jeannie and Genevieve's understanding of Jeannie. There's too many G words in this.
Genevieve doesn't believe
No,
Jeannie
there
would have
are-
snuck in and stolen this. She doesn't know she ended up in a boiler once.
Genevieve holds Jeannie to like such a high pedestal of a standard, and thinks that like her base desires of I want to steal their research. Jeannie would never do that, and it turns out Genevieve and Jeannie are actually really close.
Okay,
But
Like she doesn't know that.
Which Genie does Genevieve hold in such high regard?
Eugenia Veritas.
Which one?
Well, the idea of Eugenia Veritas.
The one with or without blood.
She doesn't know that.
Listen, I don't know what cameo Brickroad has planned, but I kind of want it to be Jeannie now, just so Jeannie can knock herself off that pedestal, because that encounter would not go well.
That's
be
exactly what I'm
amazing.
expecting. Is like her whole life is gonna fall apart before.
Are you claiming a flaw this week?
I am. This wasn't what was supposed to be on the exam. For panicking before her speech, explaining her memories of seeing her father perform as a wrestling heel.
Okay. You kind of bounced back and killed it, though, from that.
I mean, it helps when I roll a 20 or an 18 or whatever it is that I did.
All right, who wants to go next?
I can go.
Please.
What does Leo have for me?
All right. Lawful good. Everyone has a place and purpose for calmly explaining the faults of their actions to Rubina,
Mm-hmm.
Dahlia, and Timmet.
Yeah. And none of them
my
internalized it.
All right.
Not yet, anyway.
My ideal.
Yep.
I might fail, but I will never give up. So he gave his best efforts as an impresario, even though that's not in his wheelhouse or toolkit.
No. You kind of got the leftover
and
job at the end there.
Yeah. And my flaw, only one of us could be the best. It's clearly me. Excuse me, sir. It's a roundhouse and not a spin kick.
Sure. Alister, did you want to go next?
Yeah.
Correcting the DM.
So Alister's alignment got a good deed as his own reward for inspiring Leo during the play.
Okay.
For ideal, the glass is always half full for rolling with a micro penis.
Okay. That it?
Flaw, I just wanted to help. That would be sticking up for Rubina against her ex.
You just wanted to help Rubina.
Yeah.
Hugo, do you have anything?
I have my alignment, which is neutral good. Just be excellent to your fellow man for trying to break his honest evaluation score to Dahlia gently.
Mm-hmm.
And again, not helping her internalize it at all.
Nope. Immune to criticism.
Yep. I have my ideal, the peace hard won must be preserved for welcoming Rubina's ex back into the drama club.
Okay. Poignant.
And my flaw, I'm the biggest marker for Nisco for believing Rubina that Hugo can handle a live tiger.
It's pretty good. What does Geppa have for me?
I've got my ideal. When I set my sights on something, nothing can stop me for not giving Destin an inch after after sniffing out the initial heckling.
Okay.
I've got alignment, chaotic neutral. Why shouldn't I do what I want when I can? For using a combination of firebolt and magic missile to subdue a heckler.
Yeah.
I've got my flaw. When I'm bored, watch out, and I'm easily bored for ignoring the rest of the after party to cuddle with a tiger.
That was a boring after party. Is that it?
I mean, I was a little bored at that point. And
Just
then
cuddling
I've
with
got
a tiger. That's not boring.
yeah, no, I made it not boring. And then I've got my bane for losing our magical coffee for the session.
Yeah, you do. That bane came back to bite you. Who had the most creative solution to a problem this session?
We said that the story about Genevieve's father was Andre the Gargantuan was creative. Hooray, thank you.
Who did the most to further the party's goals?
We said Alister not breaking a sweat when his junk was magically shrunk.
I like that one because it rhymes. Who was the badass?
I know.
Your dong is now a noodle.
Yeah, god damn it.
Daddle skadoodle.
Geppa cuddling a tiger was pretty badass.
Yeah.
And who's intangible?
We didn't get that far.
We haven't gotten that far.
I have a suggestion. Intangible. Hugo for getting mauled by a tiger. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, it's the opposite of cuddling a tiger. He should have just taken Geppa's approach.
I thought about just applying slashing damage, but there's no reason the damage was a drawback in the production. You would just healed it up anyway. So we're going to give it to Hugo.
That's what Second Wind is for.
What's the title of today's episode?
Producers.
I mentioned it earlier and I can't remember what it is now.
You said you had one, but I don't think you mentioned it.
I did. No, I did say that.
Just go with Trastyova'd.
Get Trastyova'd.
Get Trastyova'd.
Oh, that's not bad, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do apologize for setting the micropenis precedent.
Oh yeah, no, this is entirely Treble's fault.
That's with us forever.
Yeah. That's going to help with the YouTube algorithm. Trastyova'd. I'm sure you'll love that. I'm just going to give you your blip totals because nobody's
Well,
rolling anything.
The algorithm doesn't.
You could also just say little D energy.
That's a great title. I'm not going to use it. Hugo and Geppa, you have 4 blips coming in the next session. Genevieve, you have 5. Leo, you have 3.
I think I should have 5.
Alister, you have 6.
I'm not sure why I have.
I had you at 0, and then you earned 4. Genevieve, I had you.
So that'd be 4, right?
I had you at 0, and you earned 5.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I earned 5.
I got that backwards. Geppa, you have 5, and Genevieve has 4.
I should have.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Okay,
that makes sense.
because Geppa claimed his bane. All right, everything is
Gotta
on
make those
track.
enemies, guys.
Everything's on track to start year 2 next week. That's it. You're all dismissed.
Dolly will probably be my next Bane next year.
Thanks so much for playing, guys.